I don't think we had that conversation, but it was for when you're reporting your takeoff, like you can only be, was it 10 minutes late, but you could go 20 minutes early or something?
Oh, like yeah. Back in the day, and not get in trouble.
Right.
Yeah. It's the sound check portion of the show, people. So
we should not acknowledge the sound check portion. We should just like roll into it talking and then like wait for feedback.
Yeah, I know. I can tell your mic is pretty far from you. I don't know if that's by design.
It's always like this.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
If anything, it's closer than you.
Oh, shit. You were muted. Oops. Because I was doing a meeting.
Yeah, so are you recording the audio right now?
I'm all off.
We're professionals.
It's because you froze me out before we started the
Is show. That what it is?
Yes.
I stopped.
I'm so cold still.
We just cold soaked the electrons. Like nothing. None of your neurons are moving.
Right.
It's so cold.
Yes. Bring you something to wear.
He doesn't want to wear something. He just wants.
Hello. Give me a sound check.
Uh-huh.
That's not a good sound check.
Hello.
All right. Very good. Levels are good. Yeah. What did I do? All right.
So your audio is recording, and it's recording from the proper source.
We got Solsky at the gym watching. How do we sound, Don? Yeah, you know what, Tom?
It's a 1 or a 0 with him.
Right. So the click is good now. The click used to be bad, but I think click is good.
No, click is bad.
Okay, gotcha.
Don, did you see there's a new Andy Weir book out?
It's supposed to be so good.
I'm about 3 hours into it.
What they're talking about.
It's really fucking good.
Oh my god, it's a top of my wish list. Every day I go to Audible and I'm like, I want to do it.
Dude, don't wait. It's awesome.
I'm in the middle of like a 36-hour audiobook. I've been on it for like a week and a half. I'm never going to be out of it.
Yeah, so I'm on chapter 13. I've got 8 hours left.
And it's really good.
It's really good.
It's supposed to be better.
This is the first episode of the Kristen and Dave podcast, apparently.
Get out of chair.
Yeah, we're going to talk about good audiobooks. And this is one of them. I'm actually. The Martian was good. Mm-hmm. Like it's been like one of those where I was not expecting it to kind of, but usually it's like the steady build, the character development, everything else, and like it's good. You'll enjoy it. Trust me.
That's great. I still never listened to The Martian. I've got both versions, the Will Wheaton and the R.C. Bray.
Oh,
I just want to watch the movie.
I think Will Wheaton did a second.
I read the Will Wheaton version.
Yeah.
R.C. Bray is the one who does the shit. He does this other one I'm listening to. Yeah. It's the same guy.
I've never listened to those, but I have them all.
And he's the guy who did this latest one.
Oh,
R.C. Bray.
Excellent. Yeah. I read the book before I was into audio. What are you doing?
I'm bored. So I got to pose for the camera.
Will Wheaton. Say Will. Will. Say Wheaton. Wheaton. Say Will Wheaton. Wheaton.
He was good at Ready Player One. I liked him on that one. That's the only one I've listened to. Of his. What's your password?
Oh, you wait one too?
I don't like this new setup that's going on.
I need a chair. You're right. I need a chair.
I don't recall inviting you in here.
You should get a stool. Just have a stool off to the side.
Just so like hot perched up here like a vulture.
Or we just give her the iPad and then she could be Jamie.
Jamie, look that up.
Wheaton. I'm in the middle of Creatures and Caverns book. Yeah, I was in the middle of this astrophysics book that I'm about 3/4 of the way through, and I was like, Vickers was like, there's a new Andy Weir book out. I'm like, I have a credit. I'm using it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still do the Audible subscription?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I canceled mine. I had like 7 credits and I wasn't using any of them, so I gave her all of them and canceled it.
Gave me some good stuff too.
It comes out of my allowance. I honestly, I need, because listening to podcasts as all of you should be doing if you're, well, this is the YouTube audience, but I'd rather listen to a book most of the time than listen to a podcast, because I don't know. I did like I don't know. It's tough. Like the Escape Pod guys, I'd rather watch that live. Joe Rogan stuff, even the Monday morning podcast, even like fantasy football stuff is probably the only podcast I listen to fairly regular, but I won't listen to that again for a while.
The Asimov, is he talking about that other Clone Wars series? Barkovet? Asimov? What is that? If it has anything to do with what you guys were talking about, I totally tuned you out. So
Isaac Asimov?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Wow. All right, well, we're saved out for the show. Wow.
Okay, so apparently it's a person.
What did they teach you in school?
How to respect America.
In a California fucking school? I highly doubt it.
It was Bakersfield.
No.
Very different from the rest of California. All right, so I guess our sound check is good, so we should be starting the show soon.
Yep.
Just gotta take care of one more little detail.
You gotta take out the trash.
I wasn't gonna say it that way, but
you were thinking it. Your final go. So I'm gonna have better luck.
make sure you watch our 30-second countdown though, right before we go live.
You have to give me a chance to like go in there.
Well, then you should definitely go now.
I'm the one that clicks the button, so I'll give you the appropriate amount of time.
Okay.
I'll listen for the door to close.
God. Oh, before we get started, what did you take a look at my new little intro blurb?
Yeah.
Okay. Look good?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Going live in just a few minutes, guys.
Yeah.
Well, actually, technically, we are live, but starting the podcast.
I'm just like,
problem.
The Asimov thing is like just, it's kind of blowing me away a little bit. I don't.
Okay, should I Google this person really quick to find out what the fuck you're talking about?
No, I mean well, let's put it this way. It's like a foundational layer for a lot of like science fiction and referencing and stuff like that. Like he's kind of a key figure.
Well, what did he write?
Those things. Oh fuck.
I'll just Google the fucking guy since it's so goddamn important.
He's kind of the. What's the name of the one with the gods themselves? I think he wrote.
Never heard of it. Writings.
Like
Science fiction.
A lot of robot stuff. A lot of like sentient, like robot type things came because of Asimov.
Huh. Okay. I'm not seeing anything in here I recognize.
Oh, I tell you.
Oh, the Bicentennial Man. I've heard of that.
Okay, there you go.
Heard of it.
Yeah.
Never
No, it's just
read.
like I said, like from a science fiction standpoint, like a lot of the things that we that kind of build on come from a baseline of what Asimov kind of like imagined.
Gotcha.
For robots and shit like that. But it was a
iRobot. Never seen that show.
You never saw the Will Smith version of it? It was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. As opposed to some things that I've watched. Speaking of. We read we got a couple minutes.
Do we? I mean, we don't have to start right at 5.
We don't?
We're not like the Escape Pod guys. We start whenever the fuck we want. And if people don't like it, they can suck a dick, suck a motherfucking dick.
All right then. If you are ready.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me get my notes up. Don't give me that look.
I should have just clicked the button.
All right.
All right. Are we ready?
My toast.
Your toast. I have something in the glass.
And do it.
It's gonna be me.
To Paul Mooney.
To Paul Mooney.
Yeah, a very sad week this week. Comedy legend Paul Mooney passed away at the age of, God, what they say he was? 80 something?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but Paul Mooney, you know, a lot of people, especially younger folks, probably don't know him outside of maybe his appearances on Chappelle's Show. Right. So, and we've talked about Chappelle's Show here on the show, and we're going to continue to talk about it, and we'll talk more about him after you stop making all the goddamn noise. Jesus. Show some respect for the dead. Nah, man. Paul Mooney, a comedy legend, but one of those guys that kind of worked behind the scenes a lot of the time and wasn't as well known, making his big break as a writer for Richard Pryor as he was doing all of his stand-up back in the day, 70s and all that. And he's done a lot of his own stand-up specials. Like if you go onto YouTube, Paul Mooney has some really good stand-up specials, and the dude is funny as fuck. He a lot of his comedy is race-based.
Yeah.
You know, he a lot like Chappelle, you know, he uses the bringing of like racial issues to the forefront with a comedic element to it.
Right.
But, you know, he's not lying or anything like that. He's just kind of presenting it in a way that's funny, but also kind of still
there's a lot like where Chappelle was always very not tongue-in-cheek, but like it's
an exaggerated version of
right. Whereas
of
Mooney was very, very pointy sometimes.
Like,
almost militant. Which I'll tell you, not a lot of people appreciated him for how he presented those particular issues.
Sure.
It didn't make him any less funny.
Right.
Not in my mind.
And like, you know, he digs on white people a lot, but the way he does it, I think, is actually hilarious. Like one of my favorite quotes of his is he's talking about the arrogance of white people, right? And he's like, you know, white people have always been arrogant. They did it with the Titanic. Unsinkable. I'm white. I know what I'm doing, and nothing can sink this ship. And he goes on about that. It's fucking hilarious. Again, brilliant comedic mind. And again, not very well known by especially a lot of the younger generation outside of Chappelle's Show. So great person. He's going to be missed, you know. Rest in peace, Paul Mooney.
Yep. Cheers.
So that being said, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, astronomy, or really whatever the hell we want from a Generation X point of view. I'm Mr. Jason Roscom. With me here each and every single week, the Darth Vader to my Palpatine, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Jason.
How are you?
I'm tired.
Yeah?
I'm very, very tired. And you know why I'm tired?
Why are you tired?
Because I had to sit through a movie that we're going to talk about.
It mentally exhausted you?
Yeah, it did. It put me in a bad place, man. Put me in a bad place.
Really? Okay, because we're going to get into it. And speaking of which, what are we talking about this week?
We're talking about a travesty of a fucking film.
Wow.
That involves Ewoks that should honestly have never, ever graced my eyes. But the Ewok Adventure, now known as what? The Caravan of
Courage. Yeah, and we'll get into
or the Ewoks do Lord of the Rings, or
whatever, I have that in my notes.
Whatever the fuck you want to call it.
I have that on my notes, but we'll get there. But
you know, yes. I was really trying to contain how much I fucking weird. I will readily admit that this was my idea.
Yes.
And I regret it.
Well, well, hang on. We've talked about doing this for years now. Back when we first started our first podcast, All Things Star Wars, we talked about doing the Ewok Adventure because I know you had never seen it before.
Right.
I have a lot of strong memories about this.
Strong.
So it just happened to be a target of opportunity this week, and we took it. And I'm really looking forward to hearing your analysis.
Target opportunity. Yeah, because we are continuing with the Star Wars theme with the month of May.
Yes, it's gonna be May.
No, this is the May.
This is the May.
This is the May. And so and saying that, I want to show off my birthday gift, a belated birthday gift that I got this weekend from
strictly for the YouTube audience.
Well, obviously, that's most of our shit anyway, isn't it? But yeah, it is a Star Wars periodic table of the elements, and it has all of the characters laid out just like the periodic table of the elements, and it has it broken out by droids and planets and bounty hunters, and the hydrogen of this periodic table is Luke Skywalker, and the helium would be Darth Vader. So very, very cool. What's the third element?
I know what the fifth element is.
Boobies?
Lilu. But
what's the third element? God.
I have no idea what's going on right now.
I'm trying to think of the third fucking element and I can't. But anyway, yes, fucking awesome. Thank you, Jen, and friend of the show, Sean Roberts, his wife. You give it to me? It's great.
Excellent. Good job. So we have a segment on the show that we call This or That we do every single week. Our social media director puts up a poll on our Instagram. And what is our Instagram, Dave?
At the Sidebar Cantina.
Yes. And she gives you two choices. And you pick one of the two choices, and we discuss the results here on the show. Still doing Star Wars. She did another Star Wars theme, and it's a lot of TV-based Star Wars. So we're going to hop right into it. The first fuck. All right. The first.
The first fuck? The first fuck.
Yeah. The first one is.
What is it? Feech? Feech. Yeah.
Oh, Feech. Yeah.
Feech.
Lardo. Anyway. Best 80s spinoff, Droids, the animated series, or Ewok Adventures. I obviously picked Ewok Adventures. We're going to talk about my love for this movie later on. Droids actually won 56% to 44%. And before you answer, I have one other thing to say. Never seen a single minute of the Droids animated series.
I think I chose Droids just because.
Just out of spite?
Actually, you know what? I think I picked Ewoks, to be honest. Because it was before I did this poll before I watched.
Before you watched the movie. Yeah. You'd change your vote now?
I also did not see any of the Droids bit.
Yeah. Is that on Disney Plus? The Droids cartoon?
I think it is.
Okay. I'd be curious because, yeah, I think
it's under the bonus content.
I've always known that it existed, but it came out at a time where I was kind of over Star Wars as a kid because this is around the time when it was all about the He-Man and the Transformers and the Voltron and all that stuff. That stuff had kind of replaced Star Wars in my childhood. Mm-hmm. And I think that's around the time where Droids came out, and it was kind of like, you know, the Star Wars excitement had died down a bit. So anyway, like I said, Droids won 56 to 44%. This is a funny one. Rebels or Resistance? Rebels won substantially, 98% to 2%. And
wow.
Yeah, I voted for Rebels.
And I voted for Rebels also, but I watched some episodes of Resistance, and I know initially when it came out, we had some good discussion about when it first came out because we talked about the animation style, how it was a little bit different.
Yeah, very different.
And kind of seeing where the storyline was going to go, but it did not. It just did not get my attention at all. I could not. I made no point at all to like have any interest in the rest of that show. Maybe it had, I mean, people talk about how there was some elements to canon that were brought out in Resistance that were relevant. And that's awesome. You know, the beauty of Star Wars is you don't have to necessarily watch every second of it to understand what's going on.
Right. And I guess it wasn't a success because they stopped it after like 2 seasons. Yeah, it didn't last very long, but like you said, the animation style was really unique, and one of these days I intend to go back and watch it, but it's just a matter of having the time. This is another one that I was kind of surprised about, but which spin-off game do you like the most? Knights of the Old Republic or Jedi Fallen Order? Now, we've talked about Jedi Fallen Order on our previous podcasts,
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic was my vote, but it only won 51% to 49%, which is shocking because Knights of the Old Republic is where we were introduced to Darth Revan and a lot of the concepts from the Old Republic era.
No, well, like we kind of talked about a little bit last week with the Revan. I don't know, the Revan Ruh. No, that Revan is not one of those characters that is known to the casual Star Wars fan.
I guess, yeah.
The casuals that are out there just they don't necessarily understand that character.
Mhm.
And who was the other person? It was Revan and
Darth Nihilus was in that one, and Revan was also in that game. And then Darth
that's right.
Malik.
We're talking about Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah. It's a recency thing, right?
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic. You can still play it. I have it on my Xbox One as one of my 360 games or original Xbox games that I can play.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an original Xbox?
Yes.
Is that old?
Yep.
Yeah. So I have it on there, and it is a good game, and there's a lot of good stuff to it. But Jedi Fallen Order, as much as I hated fucking Bug-Eye McGee, the gameplay,
she's so weird.
The gameplay was actually a lot of fun. I enjoyed it and you know when I enjoyed it more was after I played Titanfall 2, because it's the same. It's the same developer. And honestly, like Titanfall 2 is probably one of my favorite games, non-Star Wars game. And so playing it, I just wish that they took Fallen Order and said, okay, let's go more into the story. Let's release some new content or build on top of it.
Sure.
And they haven't. We've seen an overall decline, I think, in they haven't released anything game wise.
No real downloadable content or anything
since Squadrons came out.
Yeah.
And honestly, Squadrons I don't think is very playable on a console.
I've never played it.
I own it on the console. I wasted $35 putting it on the console, and I never played on the console.
That's too bad. All right, moving on. Which spin-off series are you most anticipating? The Cassian Andor series or the Lando series? I forgot that they had announced a Lando series, and we still don't know anything about it, whether or not Donald Glover is coming back. Because I got to tell you, if Donald Glover isn't coming back to play Lando, then what's the fucking point? Like, why even do this at this point?
Yeah.
But my vote went towards Lando only under the assumption that Donald Glover is coming back. If he's not, then I'll pick Andor. But Andor only won 52% to 48%, and I'm pretty sure we can guess what you voted for this one.
Honestly, I don't have a desire really for either.
Mm-hmm.
But it is well documented how I feel about the Inigo Santoyo fucking series.
Yeah. All right, so last one. There is always going to be a hard one to choose. Which one are you looking forward to the most? Mando Season 3 or The Book of Boba Fett?
Mando. It was Mando for me.
Yeah, I picked Mando also, and Mando only won 63% to 37%. So, and don't get me wrong, The Book of Boba Fett, which is the next thing coming out in December, I'm going to watch it and I'm going to be excited for it, but I'd much rather continue the story of Mandalorian as opposed to like seeing what Boba Fett and fucking Fennec do.
Yeah. It's a tough one because I'm really curious about the Boba Fett series and what that's gonna flush out, how it's gonna be relevant. Obviously the dude's got a lot of fucking scores to settle.
Yep.
And it could be great. Yeah, I saw that. It could be great. But yeah, there's sadly, even with the demolition of one of our beloved characters that came out of The Mandalorian with Cara Dune, I'm still engaged in what that's going to turn into. Right. Anybody take you up on that?
No, nobody still tried to hit me at the gym. So
that's a shame.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I agree. And what's funny is there has been no word on production for Mandalorian Season 3. I think they're really focused on the Book of Boba Fett right now. We're probably not going to see another season of Mando until like end of next year, end of 22. We're in 2021 now, right? Yeah. Yes. End of 2022. Fuck, these years are all blended together, man.
We're almost halfway through 2021.
Yeah.
If you can fucking believe it.
I can't, honestly.
And neither can I.
Anyway, as we always do when we talk about Star Wars related topics, we delve into a little bit of Star Wars news. I just wanted to touch on something. This was something that started to get talked about on May the 4th, again, which we're now a few weeks removed from that, but we didn't talk about it last week. And it's something that we've touched on a time or two on our podcast, and that's the Star Wars themed hotel that's opening up at Disney World in Florida. A lot of more details came out about it on May the 4th, and then some more the week after that. And it's very unique what they're doing with this. So it's going to be a completely isolated experience. It's now officially called Galactic Star Cruiser. So it's not just the Star Wars hotel or whatever. It is Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. It is a 2-day stay at this hotel, and it's a very structured stay to the point where you don't actually even leave the hotel. Everything is all included in that hotel, including your meals, all of your day-to-day entertainment. It's all very structured and all takes place within that Star Wars themed hotel. It's like they say, think about it as more of a Star Wars cruise, right?
Right.
Where you're not going to a theme park and you're just going from ride to ride as you as you see fit. Bronco Fett in the chat just said Star Cruiser crash. Yeah, we'll see.
Oh my God.
But
I love that idea, because if you were traveling through space, then you're not going to go
right,
secret mission on chartered space, let's go. You're not going to do that. Everything's going to be within the ship.
Right. So it's going to be so different, though, from the way other guests experience Disney World in Orlando. Normally, it's like you pick which hotel you want to stay at, you book it, you stay at that hotel, and then you hop around the parks the whole week. Where it's not, you don't book the Star Wars hotel and then you go to Disney World. It's a whole separate experience.
Yeah.
Like if you want to go into the parks, you got to book a fucking stay at different hotels on different days to actually go into the fucking park.
I love this idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it because it's expensive. We know it's going to be expensive.
Oh yeah. They're estimating anywhere from like $1,200 to $1,500 a person kind of thing.
Yeah. And you know what? If for that immersive experience, I'd pay it, because look, if it's the first time you've ever gone to Orlando or Walt Disney World, this is not what you want to do,
right?
Unless you are a Star Wars fan and that's the only reason you would go otherwise. But if you want to go to Disney World to get raped by Mickey, then this isn't what you want to do. But for somebody like me who's been to Orlando several times, I would 100% go, fucking lock the doors. And then I'm going to be part of I want an immersive Star Wars experience for whatever we're going to pay for it. And you know what? If anybody can do it, it's fucking Disney.
Oh,
I mean, obviously not just because they own the intellectual property, but what Disney does best is be able to give you that immersive experience, and they have years of experience doing it. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, and they showed some of the shots of what the inside is going to look like, and it all looks like the inside of a Star Wars spaceship. It looks great. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. But the whole thing for me is, well, if it's this whole isolated individual experience, why even build it in Florida next to the theme park? You could build it in fucking Austin, Texas, or fucking Detroit, Michigan. You could build it anywhere you wanted because it's a completely isolated experience from all the rest of what they're doing.
Well, let's think of it this way. Like you just said, all right, you're going to take this vacation, right? It's 5 days. You're going to get locked up, right?
2 days.
All right. So it's only 2 days.
Yeah.
So you're going to be down there for 2 days. Then, well, shit, you're probably going to take a week of vacation, right? So you're probably going to book the rest of your vacation with Disney. I'm dollars to donuts that Disney is absolutely going to package this. Like, okay, if you want to do the Star Wars Galactic Cruiser or the Galactic Star Cruiser, then we'll package this up. Like you can stay here, then like you'll stay at the Floridian for the next, for the rest of your stay, and you'll get like packages where you can go and get the
it's like for 15 grand you can do 2 days at the Star Wars thing, and then 3 days at the Grand Floridian and full park access.
And do like $2,500 you can go and do and get all your Star Wars, and then get raped by Mickey for a few days, and then you'll be good to go. 100% that's what people will do. But even for me, fuck, I'd do it just for the 2 days.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, okay, cool.
And I'm sure a lot of Star Wars fans are gonna be in the same boat.
The trick is going to be trying to convince Kathy this is a good idea, because I can tell you right now that's she right now, if she's listening, the eye roll is audible at this point with trying to go down there, especially to spend all that money. But you never know.
Yeah,
you never know. I like the idea. I like the idea of this super immersive experience.
Yeah. Well, if nothing else, you can come with me and Kristen, and we can all go.
There you go.
So
I'll third wheel it.
Anything else before we get to our weeks?
I'm going to sleep in the same bed.
Oh, I was looking forward to that the most.
Yeah. Well, look, you can save those weird dreams just and keep them to yourself. Still can't believe you told me that.
Anyway, you ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right. So for my week, I have in here pain, work, more pain. That's been my last week since we recorded. So I worked this last weekend, and typical working weekend, super fucking busy. Good working weekend overall. And mixed into that, I don't know what the fuck I did, but starting about Wednesday night or Thursday morning, both of my fucking shoulders felt like I had like completely torn my rotator cuffs and like just completely fucked myself. It was like a switch flipped in my body, and it's like, nah, go fuck yourself. And like, I've been dealing with a shitload of pain in both of my shoulders. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know what the hell I did. I had a good week in the gym, and then just all of a sudden one morning I wake up and my shoulders are so fucking sore, and it hurts to move. It hurts to fucking stretch in certain directions. And I've been getting fucking headaches. Like every single day for like the last 10 days, I've gotten a fucking headache. I never get headaches anymore. So I don't know. Something's fucking wrong with my body where it's all of a sudden decided, no, we're going to just have a lot of pain now.
Does you take any anti-inflammatory? Does it help?
No, I don't. I try to avoid painkillers if at all possible, except for beer.
Well, yeah. Motrin's not necessarily a painkiller, but okay. But if you're having like some sort of tension issue, like with the muscle or anything else, taking anti-inflammatory would probably relieve some of that.
Yeah.
But you do you, man.
Yeah, Bronco said, welcome to your 40s.
This is fact. Yeah, stratosphere effed your neck. That's what happened.
You know what? It very well could have been.
Oh, shit.
So speaking of people in their 40s, my sister just celebrated her 39th birthday last week. So I sent her a text message that morning, and I'm like, enjoy the last year of your 30s, because do you like waking up with random body parts hurting for no reason? Do you like being tired all the time? Yep. Well, we've got a seat reserved for you in your 40s. So
welcome to the big 40. Yeah, I mean, that's probably part of it. There's maybe you're not allowing enough recovery time too. I mean,
I'm going by what my trainer's telling me with proper rest days and everything. So I don't fucking know.
Your trainer isn't living in your body.
True, and he's also in his 20s.
Yeah,
so.
Fuck that guy. Fuck people in their 20s trying to tell you how to be like, this is how you should live your life. Yeah.
Though,
why it sounded like Mickey all of a sudden. Yeah. Sorry.
Though,
oh boy,
my trainer. It's funny because when you sit there and you work with somebody for an hour every single week, you start to get to know each other and everything. Apparently, you know that Dogecoin that's like going around. Apparently, he invested in that thing way early when it was like 2 cents each or some shit like that, where it's now like 40 cents or something like that. He invested like a couple grand into it, and like last week or 2 weeks ago, he was sitting at over 50 grand in the fucking thing because this meme fucking
Elon Musk, man.
It
was the power of Elon. What 50,000 watts?
Well, dollars is what he has invested in this coin, but yeah, it's cryptocurrency. So
is it a real thing? I mean, is it really? Like, what are you going to go? Can you go buy something with fucking crypto coin right now?
Well, I would imagine the point is to sell at a high and then be like, somebody else figure out what to do with this shit. I'll take the cash.
Right.
Which is the same thing with fucking the main cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Yeah. The same thing with that. It's like, what do you actually do with this? Like,
yeah, I remember when all the mining and shit like that was happening, and people still do it. And listen, I am sure an economist could sit here that is smart on this shit and explain it to me, and I'm still going to say no.
Right?
No, go bad, because you already have this inflation based economy. We really need some fucking cryptocurrency to add to that. Like it's the same shit. It's just a different flavor, right? And something that is so speculative that fucking some goddamn billionaire who gets high on Joe Rogan fucking shows up and says like, I think Dogecoin is the best, blah, 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 blah. Right? And all of a sudden like, oh, everyone buy it. This dude's a billionaire. Like, fuck, dude.
Well, and the fact that also like his comments crashed Bitcoin. It was at like 50,000. Now it's at like 30,000.
I am not comfortable, and you could back me up on this. I am not comfortable with currency that is solely based in a system that can be hacked and manipulated.
Right. And that's kind of the whole, like how the currency works too, is people, that's what the mining does, right? Is it somehow cracking it? I don't know. It's this whole thing. I work in cybersecurity and I don't understand the fucking shit. So
I just Stonebleed is saying some establishments take Bitcoin. Nobody actually accepts Dogecoin. Look, and again, it's all speculative, right? If this is how you're going to invest, and this is how you kind of want to, use your money and kind of play the market and do whatever. Cool, more power to you. Me personally, I don't buy it. I don't buy it because this. I don't know. It's just it doesn't sit well with me. Like I just see bad things happening to it, where even making a small investment into something like that could, I don't know. It just
I totally agree. And how do you even make a small investment in a single crypto coin that's worth like 30 grand? If somebody tried to tell me right now, oh yeah, you should buy Bitcoin because it's at a low of 30 grand, like, go fuck yourself,
dude. So again, Stonebleeds. You're not okay with the Federal Reserve. Like again, if you want to have a discussion, like an economics discussion, I'm prepared to have that. However, fucking speculative cryptocurrency is not your fucking springboard.
Right.
Sorry.
And in case you were wondering why this show is called the Sidebar Cantina, this is why, because we go off on a lot of sidebars like this.
Well, when did we start talking about?
We were talking about my week and my pain and my trainer. And so anyway, the only other thing I really had for this week, because I work so fucking much, was I talked about the masks last week, right? We're still in the middle of this fucking COVID shit,
right?
Though I think we're actually closer to the end than the middle.
The People's Republic of New Jersey is actually getting ready to.
So they announced today that this week, starting Friday, they're going to remove the mask mandate for vaccinated people. Right. So fuck yes, I can't wait to walk into certain establishments with no mask. And
honestly, the only establishment that I would walk into either way is fucking Home Depot. I like to go into Home Depot without having to wear a mask, because I'm still not going to go into Walmart, because fuck Walmart.
I was just there today, actually.
Were you?
Yeah.
I can't.
Had to get my oatmeal, eggs, Greek yogurt, Cliff Bars.
Nice.
All the things that you need for a growing body.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, fuck Walmart. There's too much humanity. Even without the fucking COVID or everything else, I have those issues. But yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice. And it's fraught with fucking deception and everything else. Like, people are like, how are you going to prove it? And
and nobody's going to ask
passports and anything else.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck. It's all about me. Like you mentioned in the text, in our group text with our social media director, the universe revolves around me, and duh. And
you're like, it doesn't?
Slightly to the left,
right?
Like, not on me. Universe kind of rotates around. Anyway,
yeah. And Luna Girl mentioned in the chat, it is up to individually owned establishments whether or not they do require masks, and that's the same thing in Jersey.
Yeah,
and that's fine. But I would imagine most of them are going to lift that. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I hope my gym lifts it. I fucking hate working out in a mask.
I'm tired of working out in a mask too. Like, especially with social distancing, because all the equipment's spread out and whatever. It like I said, everything to do with vaccination, with COVID at this point, everything, it's purely based on what's best for me,
right?
At this point, right? We had it, so we probably had antibodies. Like, is it 100%? Like, no, absolutely, it's not. I mean, it's no vaccination is 100% foolproof, right?
Yeah.
But it's a layer of protection for me
Mhm.
that's going to keep me from fucking getting sick again.
Right. And oh, by the way, the key word there is again, because just to remind the audience, Dave and I both had COVID at the same time.
Yes. And it fucking sucked.
Yes.
It sucked. All these fuckers, they were like, oh, I had it. It wasn't that bad. Well, I probably had it back in like December, fucking way before. Blah, blah, blah.
God. You know how much.
Don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. It laid me on my ass for fucking 18 days.
Do you know how many people have told me, like, oh, yeah, I probably had it because I got sick in January or February before it became a big thing?
I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I really don't care. Individual stories about it, I really don't give a shit, because one thing that this fucking virus has proven is that like each individual's body handles it in a particular way.
Mhm.
That's awesome. People with their super genes that fucking can get sick and don't have to worry about it. That's awesome. When I was a fucking kid, I never got sick either. But guess what? I don't want to get sick again. So I'm going to fucking do what I need to do. And I'm not afraid to fucking get a vaccination, especially because I was in the military. I had plenty of experimental fucking vaccinations. So don't give a shit. I'm not trying to have kids anymore. I don't fucking care.
Yeah. Oh, sidebar to the sidebar. Your comment about I'm going to do what the fuck I do is another funny Paul Mooney bit that I absolutely loved. He was talking about like presidents, and this was at the time when George W. Bush was president. And he's talking about, at least Clinton had the nerve to lie. He's like, I rolled a joint, but I didn't inhale. At least he lied for us. I didn't have sexual relations with that woman. At least he had the decency to try to lie to us. Where George W. Bush is like, yeah, I rolled a joint. I fucking inhaled. I did some coke. I did some blow. I fucked your mama. So what? I'm the president and I'm going to do what the fuck I do. I'm like, yeah, okay. That sounds about right. So anyway, just another funny Paul Mooney bit. So that's my week in a nutshell. What about you, Dave?
Well, as with most Mondays when I roll in here, it's like, fuck, what did I do last week? So obviously it was a lot of work. Last week was getting back into the work mode after, the week of all the stuff with the funeral and all that other stuff. So yeah, the weekend, I do remember the weekend because Saturday, I was supposed. All right, I just remembered this. Okay. We're about to have a Dave rant. So Saturday, what happened?
No, Kristen made a comment that I didn't notice until just now. Talking about my trainer. My trainer's name is Jesse.
Oh, okay.
The one with the cryptocurrency.
Nice.
Anyway, carry on.
So Saturday morning, right? It's been in the calendar. One of the things that happened with COVID, like you couldn't turn in like things like paint cans and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So, I think it was back in March, like they finally started doing it in the county where you could go and take your hazardous waste and, dropped off a bunch of paint and all the other shit they've been collecting over the fucking COVID year. So it had been on the calendar because one of the things I forgot to take was this fucking old ass computer monitor that's just been fucking laying around that it needs to fucking
We've got a pile of that shit in our garage that needs to go out.
And the trash guys won't take it, right? Because it's like, electronics or whatever. So I'm like, okay, the county posts on their website, like, okay, here's the dates that you can bring your shit, right? And there's a list of stuff. Excuse me. So Saturday morning, right? Part of my game plan for Saturday, Kathy was working. And I'm like, okay, one of the things I have to do is I have to get rid of this fucking computer monitor. I had already loaded it up in the car. I slept a little bit later than I really wanted to, but I got in the fucking car and took this thing all the way to Pennsauken, right?
Damn.
And I was going to Pennsauken twice that day, no matter what, because we had a barbecue at the lodge. I'm like, fuck it, just go get this fucking thing dropped off. That way it's out of my life forever. I think you see where this is going. So I show up to the fucking collection area and I pull up. You have to have your mask on. And I pull up, show your ID, and to prove that you're in a county, because I guess you can't come from another county and drop shit off at the fucking dump. It's at the dump. Like, it's not at like a place that they're going to take it to the dump. No, it's the dump. You're pulling into the fucking dump. So I pull up and I see in the sign, it says no electronics. or things that aren't you can't drop off today, electronics and something else. When I pull up, I'm like, hey, I saw the thing with the electronics. The only thing I have to drop off is this old CRT monitor. They're like, oh yeah, no, we don't take that. I'm like, well, are you going to be taking it like next week? Is there a specific reason you're not taking it this time? Because the next like 2 are going to be at the same place.
Sure.
She's like, oh no, we don't take that stuff. I'm like, it says that you do, right? She's like, well, where did it say that? Like, this woman's being a real fucking cunt, right?
Uh-huh.
And I use that word in the strongest fucking way possible. And I know Kathy hates that word, but fuck it.
Yep.
This fucking bitch was like, oh, where did you see that? I'm like, oh, on the website where it had all the dates and stuff like that. She's like, she pulls a fucking piece of paper off of a clipboard. It's basically a printout of that flyer. She's like, show me on this where it says that. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
I'll show you the fucking 4 knuckles on my front of my fist.
Jason, I wanted to fucking open my car door into her and be like, whoops, and just fucking knock her ass, because we're like on this like scale. It would have flipped her right over the fucking rail. I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to? Like,
Right.
are you a volunteer? Do you work for the fucking county? Are you the president of the United States? Who the fuck do you think you are? You can talk to somebody like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm like, okay. So I didn't say anything, but I could feel it. Like my ears were getting hot and everything. Like,
yeah.
Like I want nothing better than to tell this woman to go fucking shove her own head up her ass, or I will help her fucking do it. Right? Where do you get the right to talk to people like that in an environment like that?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is like going to a store and having the fucking pop copy people like be annoyed that you're there as the customer.
Listen, sister,
right?
I gotta go take a shit.
Yeah, this is like that. She apparently went to that same fucking training because like, oh, I'm just gonna be here and be a fucking royal bitch.
Yo, I am your manager, B.
So I'm like, there's nothing to be gained for this. I took the flyer and I pulled around the thing and I'm sitting at the stop sign waiting. And I'm reading the flyer. There's nowhere on the flyer that says that you can't drop that off.
Right.
There's a list of stuff that you can't bring.
Mm-hmm.
Electronics, monitors, TVs isn't on the list.
It's not on the disapproved list.
Exactly. But it's not on the approved list. So am I supposed to assume, as a resident of the fucking county that's pulling up to a goddamn trash dump, that, oh, it's not on the list, on either list, so it must not be... It's a fucking a Norgate, right? It's like,
right.
All right, nope. So definitely not going to try. Definitely got to bring it, because fuck me for actually like trying to do the right thing and actually take this somewhere where they can take it and recycle it properly. No. We're gonna make sure we treat you like shit to make sure that you don't come back and have to deal with us again. Fuck you, you fucking cunt. I swear to God. I want her to die. I want her to fall on an H tree and die. Like, don't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I felt like shit, and she just fucking pissed me off. And the whole rest of the day, that fucking just, when your day starts like that, it just kind of reverberates.
Oh, sure.
But I went to the fucking barbecue, had a few beers. It was nice. Nice rest of the day. And then Sunday, because the weekends is where everything has to get done, right?
Yeah.
So Sunday was, I had to do a brake job. I had to do a brake job on the Escape. It was getting bad. I was like, this is making a lot more noise than it's supposed to. So,
and Kate's driving the Escape?
No, my Escape.
Okay.
At one point, I had 3 Escapes.
Jesus
This is the new one. So. We got the parts. I was going to do it on Saturday, like, because Amazon was supposed to bring the parts by 10 p.m. I'm like, probably coming like in the afternoon. I'll be able to work on it before I go to the picnic. No, wrong. Showed up at like 8 o'clock at night. Like, whatever. So I'm like, all right, it's Sunday. It's 93 degrees, like at 10 a.m. It was hot as balls on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, there's not another point in the week where I know that I'm going to be able to get this done. Right. I know what Monday looks like. The rest of the week, I have to drive up to the base. I'm going to drive back. There's no way I'm going to have fucking energy to do this shit. So I fucking out there in the fucking heat doing this brake job. And Yeah, unfortunately, with the stuff that's wrong with me, like when I have to like gripping hand tools and shit like that, like really, it's problematic and it messes me up for like a week. So I did that, and then we did mulch, 15 bag of mulch in the back of the car, which Kathy did most of, and then we painted these rocking chairs, which I don't know if you've ever done something like that, like these outdoor rocking chairs, like teakwood rocking chairs that we've had forever. There's so much surface area on one of those fucking chairs.
Really?
Like you would not believe it, how long it took to paint these fucking rocking chairs.
That sounds surprising.
It was
honestly.
hours of painting.
Really?
Like Kathy and I tag teaming these fucking things because like I just can't hold my arms up very well. Can't put my arms down. Yeah, it's fucking. It's a lot of work. And at the end of the day, like by the end of the day with the mulch and the painting and everything else, Kathy and I were like, we're done. Like, no. Hey, we should make something for dinner. No. I'm not turning the oven, the stove on, nothing.
Fuck Papa John's. Just bring it over.
Well, it ended up being I had free pizza from Domino's, so I ended up ordering that. Domino's. All right. So in this area, right? So here's the thing. In this area, we've talked about it before. Like there are pizza places. There are more pizza places than there are gas stations.
Yeah.
By far.
And that's not even an exaggeration.
Yeah. There's 13 pizza places in my town, right? Each one has its own little thing.
Yep.
Here's the thing with Domino's. It's cheap.
Right.
And I can, if I buy enough of it, I get free shit out of it. And their thin crust pizza, they're like crunchy, like thin crust, is not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It really isn't. Like their regular pizza, I don't like at all. Like there's so far and away better options. Like it's not even close.
Right.
Like Papa John, like Domino's isn't even like close to being the best fucking mass produced fucking pizza place. Just not.
Yeah.
But the thin crust, I think they do a good job on it. And they have like this brownie thing that you can get. That's actually very good.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind ordering from Domino's for that particular thing, and then that's it.
Okay.
You know, but there's you like what you like. We talked about that earlier.
Oh sure.
But yeah, there's days where it's like, oh, I have a free pizza stored from this place. Boom, I'm going to do that rather than paying an appropriate price for a local place to have a pizza that I was by myself because Kathy doesn't eat pizza.
I was all by myself.
So a medium thin crust for free. Fuck it.
You remember that Green Day song? All by myself. No.
I don't think you're singing it right, but okay.
I was alone. I was thinking of you. I was all by myself. No?
Yes.
Somebody in the chat's got to know.
I still think you're singing it wrong.
Well, I'm not singing it in a high enough pitched voice, honestly. But anyway, I digress. Anything else on your week?
No.
All right. So that being said, are we ready to move into our main topic?
Yes.
Do you need a break or anything before we get started?
No.
Because this is going to be an interesting discussion, to say the least. So, all right. Well, then let's just get into it. The Ewok Adventure, released November 25th, 1984. I was watching that night. I still remember watching that for the first time in 1984, being not quite 8 years old when the Ewok Adventure aired. I had watched Return of the Jedi in theaters probably, 2 summers before, right? Because Jedi came out in 83, May of 83. I saw it that summer. So yeah, I was still like high on Return of the Jedi. A little over a year later, all of a sudden we get this Ewok movie. Fuck, I'm in, right? So yeah, I still remember it, and I've got a lot of memories to share about that. You had never seen it before.
Never saw it.
So I have to ask, like, did you not see it on purpose? Was it never on your radar? Did you even know it existed when it first came out?
I think I knew it existed, but I just didn't we've talked about it extensively on the pod, right? The Ewoks are not my favorite thing in Return of the Jedi.
Sure.
Even when I was a kid, they weren't.
See, that's so funny because Lucas got me hook, line, and sinker with the fucking Ewoks.
Right.
As a almost 7-year-old kid at the time when I saw Return of the Jedi. I fucking love the Ewoks.
Yeah, the biggest part for me for like A, Star Wars, B, Return of the Jedi in particular was fucking Luke with the green lightsaber. Like,
Sure.
That for me is like, that's just why I'm watching this movie.
Okay.
Right. The Ewok parts of it were, I mean, I'm not saying like as a kid that it didn't intrigue me in some way.
Sure.
And wanted to get like they had the Ewoks and the action figures, right, with their fucking legs that only turn like this, and arms and fucking headgear and all that shit.
I should have brought out my fucking toys for this episode. God damn it.
Should have.
Because I've still got my Ewok Village from the 80s. I've still got all my old Ewok figures.
Right. But that's not the Ewok bit. Never. It didn't get me.
Yeah.
But I think I was the minority, right? Because I think there's a lot of adults that were like, hey, the Ewoks this is fun. You know, it's this idea of like the little guy being able to beat the man and do whatever. And
to be fair, it is a pretty divisive topic amongst hardcore Star Wars fans. I mean, really, because there's the joke, the Ewok line. Have you ever watched How I Met Your Mother?
Yes.
Yeah. So there was a thing that Barney Stinson, Neil Patrick Harris talked about called the Ewok line, where if you liked the Ewoks, that meant you were below a certain age when Return of the Jedi came out.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole reason he was talking about this is because it was proving a woman was older than she actually claimed. And it's like, oh, that proves she's like 36. Which was, horrible to him.
Right.
But I digress. So anyway, they talk about like how the kids love the Ewoks, but the people who were like teenagers and older, people who were, maybe kids when the first movie came out in 1977, but 6 years later, they were like teenagers or adults and they saw the fucking Ewoks and they're like, what is this shit? Whereas I was born in 1976, I was under a year old when the first Star Wars came out, but by the time Return of the Jedi came out, I was that prime audience that George Lucas was looking for.
Yep.
And really you were too, but
I was. It just, like I said, it just never hit. It just didn't.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know. These things, like even the second Ewok one that had
the Battle for Endor.
Yeah,
Wilford Brimley,
diabetes. I think I actually might have saw parts of that, but nothing that I could sit concrete and say like, oh, I watched that.
Yeah, and we're going to touch on that at the very end. I have a few things I want to say about the sequel.
Right.
But for now, we're just going to focus on the Ewok Adventure.
Yeah.
So
nope, never saw it until today.
Okay.
Actually.
So we talked about the title, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's now known, like if you look at it on Disney Plus, which by the way, the version on Disney Plus, if you talk about video quality, looks fucking great. For a made-for-TV movie from 1984, it looks good when you watch it on Disney Plus. They've been able to upscale it enough to where you watch it on a computer monitor or an HD TV, and it looks solid.
That's true. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Right. But you compare that to all these versions of the fucking holiday special that we try to watch, and the quality is pretty shitty overall.
Yeah, because most of it's some fucking rip off of a cassette from somewhere.
Right. And speaking of that, so that's why I kind of brought this up, because when this came out in November of 1984, my family had just gotten a Betamax video cassette player.
Right.
Like literally a couple of months before, something to that effect.
Right.
And one of the things that you were able to do for all of you kids out there who don't know any better, if you had a VCR that had a record capability, you could put a fucking blank tape in there, fucking dial in the channel you want and hit record, and it would record whatever was broadcasting on that channel. So my mother had the foresight to be like, hey, Jason really likes Star Wars. He likes the fucking Ewoks. I'm going to buy a blank Betamax video cassette, throw it in there and record the fucking show. Right. And we did. For years, we had this fucking beta Ewok Adventure tape that I was able to watch over and over and over again as a kid. Because as you remember, growing up as Gen Xers, whatever you had on, be it VHS or beta or whatever you had at the time, the few things that you had, that's what you watched over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And, I didn't actually own the original Star Wars trilogy on any kind of recorded video cassette, but we had the Ewok Adventure because, again, my mom had the foresight to fucking throw in that blank Betamax and hit record that night on November 25th when it first fucking aired and recorded it. And we had all the commercials. So here's the thing. I put a link to the YouTube video in our notes here, and I'm going to put it in the chat too, because there is a YouTube video out there that's actually got all of the original commercials from that.
Nice.
And I watched it today and I'm like, I remember every one of these fucking commercials because every one of these commercials was on that Betamax tape that my family had. So,
oh, look at the He-Man one.
Yeah, it starts off with a fucking He-Man commercial. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, I remember that.
That's really funny.
So I just put the link in the chat. But yeah, we recorded that the night it aired and I watched it. I've probably seen this 50, 60 times easily. So I know my Ewok Adventure. Anyway, getting back to the naming convention, which is how we got to this point anyway. It started off as the Ewok Adventure. It was advertised and aired as the Ewok Adventure here in the United States on ABC back in 84. I think it was early the next year, it actually got a theatrical release overseas as renamed as Caravan of Courage and Ewok Adventure.
Okay.
Something to that effect. And ever since then, on all video releases, I've got the DVD somewhere here in the Sacred Jedi DVDs. I've got the DVD in here, and it's also named Caravan of Courage, whereas when it originally aired, it was strictly called the Ewok Adventure.
Okay.
The Caravan of Courage was nowhere to be seen. And then if you look it up on Disney Plus now, also Caravan of Courage. Or Fellowship of the
Fellowship of the fucking Ewoks.
Which we're going to get into, trust me. So, so that's kind of the history of it. And from here, this is where I've got a couple of pages of notes. You made some notes in the...
I did.
In our show notes. So,
yeah.
How do you want to do this? Do you want to just start going down the line here?
I think you should just go through your shit because the general... Here's spoiler alert. The general consensus for me is I watched this and I wanted to go punch babies square in the face. Like legitimately, I had a visceral reaction to the first 25 minutes of this. And I was like, I really want to hurt somebody right now. Like that fucking kid, Captain what the fuck is his
Mace?
name? Mace.
Oh yeah, no, he's the worst.
Mace with this fucking.
He's the absolute worst. I hated him back as a kid.
I honestly, I don't think that other dude is his real father. I think Admiral Akbar is his father. And that kid is so fucking bipolar too. At one point, I'm screaming at you. And like, oh, okay, can you? Oh, God. Like, dude, get on your meds, right? And like the entire I really I think we should take our pee break now.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a quick break before we get into this because I just want to make sure I'm fresh and I'm ready to go with no interruptions because
that's fine.
We've got a great discussion ahead of us. So
go freshen up.
We're gonna take a very quick break and be right back after this word from our sponsors.
He's drinking these giant organic beers.
Only one of them was organic. And that was Christmas.
Everything's organic. That's what it is. Fuck, I hate that. Yeah, grumpy old man. You missed my pre-show rant about fucking organic bullshit. Like, oh, let's market something and make it more expensive and put the word organic on it. Like, oh, because why? It was this manufactured in space with some element that we're not aware of? Fucking ridiculous. Oh my God. You know what? I'm not. Yeah, I'm a grumpy old man. I don't know what to tell you. It's really, and has nothing to do with the fucking Ewoks that makes me grumpy. Because like I said, I wasn't into Ewoks when I was fucking 9 years old. So I was into fucking a green badass lightsaber and fucking Jedi Knights and shit like that. I was not into fucking you know, basically easily distracted fucking teddy bears. Right.
All right, so what I missed? Let's get caught up on the chat. Gonna scroll up a bit. Domino's. A lot of people. Okay, so we have Domino's is fake pizza. Some people like ordering from Domino's. Domino's is terrible. Yeah, if you lived on the East Coast, I mean, seriously, there are so many better options. Like every fucking corner out here in Jersey has a mom and pop pizza place, and they're all amazing. I've got something. I don't know what that is. Each up, yup, nap. Ewoks are my favorite, cutest little gangsters ever. Well, yeah, they're fucking creepy at times, quite frankly, and we're going to talk about that. That was quick.
She said.
Indeed, it is. Yeah, cutest murdering bears. That's. We're gonna get into it.
Bears did not do enough murdering to make it interesting.
Well, not in this movie, but no, they were still creepy as fuck. So
should have watched the other one, Wilford Brimley. Probably should have.
I mean, it had its moments
because that fucking Akbar kid isn't in it, right?
Well, he's in it for about 5 minutes, which again we'll talk about it when we get to the end of this episode and when we touch on the sequel. So, all right, we ready to roll?
Captain Touchy McTutcherson.
You should do the same countdown video when it's time.
Is it time right now? Let me get some ice and refill.
So, for the viewing audience, I'm trying a couple of different beers. First of all, I was talked into trying this organic beer. And I'm like, why organic? What is the deal with organic? It actually tasted pretty good. And currently I'm drinking this McNeil's Firehouse Amber Ale. It's a bit of a darker ale. Pretty good. Very strong. I got to kind of milk it a little bit.
Fucking organic.
Yeah, I don't know. Why would anybody brand an organic beer?
Because there's all these craft beer fucking snobs out there like, oh, well, the beer that I'm drinking is just so much more.
Well, no, see, I love craft beer, but I don't give a shit about
organic. Dick bag about it. Like, oh, look at me rubbing my tits in your face with this fucking, I'm drinking something superior than you. How about if you just enjoy a fucking Corona, then just drink a fucking Corona?
And there's nothing wrong with that either. Like
I said, you're not the problem. You're just drinking part of it.
I love craft beer, but on a hot day, there's nothing better than a fucking ice cold Corona.
And don't get it twisted. If we fucking slapped an organic label on this fucking podcast and it got millions of fucking views, I'll be your Huckleberry. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck. If that's what it takes, fuck it. We're organic.
I'll be a Doug.
Guess what? We are organic because everything's organic.
Boop. All right.
Anyway, you ready?
I am ready. Give us a countdown.
And you gonna leave the headphones plugged in?
They're not plugged in.
It's gonna be me.
And we're back.
Without sound, like watching that without sound, it really it's kind of jarring.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what the fuck just happened?
And if you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, you're going to have to subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because you're missing some fun shit when it comes to like our countdowns and things like that. So what is our URL on YouTube, by the way, Dave?
It is youtube.com/c/the sidebar cantina.
That is correct. So
I hate that I'm being quizzed today. What the fuck? Glad I'm not drinking.
it's all part of the back and forth that we have.
Oh, is that what? Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Anyway, moving on.
We do it live, folks.
The Ewok Adventure.
How did I miss 8 comments already? Jesus Christ.
So as we're starting, I'm already seeing so many analogies to the holiday special, but also some ways that they kind of corrected the mistakes that they made on the holiday special. Because as I was doing my research, more times than not, they mention the holiday special in comparison to this, as that the holiday special was the first time that George Lucas gave the Star Wars license out to somebody to do a fucking made-for-TV movie, and it was a fucking disaster. And this time he was a lot more involved in the production.
Oh, so about the holiday special. This what we're talking about today makes the holiday special seem like fucking a masterpiece.
Really?
This, I was so, like I said, this made me angry. The holiday special was very cringy, but it was cringy with people that we know, right? And aside from the fucking weird Wookiee shit, I mean, obviously we watch our holiday special episode, but this just is like, this is bad. This is really bad. The best actor in this was wearing a costume,
Wicket,
which was Warwick Davis, and he was like a teenager at this point when he was fucking doing it. Right?
Yeah, he was a kid.
And the fucking the what is she? 8? The 8-year-old girl,
Sindel.
She delivered the best human lines out of anybody in this fucking entire movie. An hour and 26 minutes of some of the worst dialogue I have ever fucking seen. The fucking worst dialogue, even in translation, right? So I'm watching it with the subtitles on, right? Because that's how our shit's defaulted, because everyone's deaf in my fucking house. So watching the Ewok, they're like, it's in Ewokese, whatever the fuck that means, right? And that's, they don't translate it; they just put like, blah, 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 blah. Like it's and the fucking 8-year-old has more inflection. Actually, like, reacts best to the fucking things that are going on. Like all the humans in this are fucking horrific. The parents, these fucking parents are just.
And that's what we open on too. We open on Endor.
God.
Thank God we get a narrator. So that's one of the first things that Lucas did, was he added a narrator because.
Hang on, before we get to the narrator.
All right,
let's talk about the one thing that I actually was like, wow, that actually is kind of cool to see. The one thing in this entire 1 hour and 26 minutes was the 20th Century Fox intro.
Oh yeah,
kind of like it was it was kind of a blast from the past, right?
Right.
So like having that pop up, I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. Fucking downhill after that. But it was, there's that, and then the Lucasfilm, like, okay, you kind of feel like this is a legit thing, right? I'm like, all right. Like I said, I've never seen a minute of this.
Yeah.
Until today.
Right.
When I watched it.
So yeah, we start off with the parents on Endor, and they're looking for the kids, Sindel and Mace, who apparently we find out later on. Yeah, Mace is like the worst kid in the fucking world. He's a terrible human being. He's a fucking piece of shit. He treats everybody like shit. It even admits later on that he was a terrible son. He's like, oh, I wish dad wasn't so mad at me all the time,
Right.
And because I guess they crash landed on Endor, and the parents are like, hey, kids, stay the fuck here. We're going to go try to find like transmitter from the ship so we can get the fuck out of here.
Right.
And the kids fucking leave, apparently, while they're off looking. They get back to the ship and they're gone. So that's where the fucking movie starts. And they're looking for him, and they're like, fuck, we told them not to leave the goddamn ship. Where the hell are they?
How you just delivered that piece of dialogue had more like inflection and enthusiasm and was better acted than the actors that actually portrayed this on the screen. I swear to God, they went to craft services and got 2 fucking idiots. Like, hey, we need 2 white people, you and you. Okay, yeah. Get them in costume. We need somebody to fucking say these lines. We forgot to hire them.
Right.
And then now we're going to put them in this fucking spot. Just like you were almost like it's almost like you can hear the director in the background going like, this is the time when you say your line.
Right.
It was fucking horrific. And you talk about the narrator, right? Okay, let's bring a narrator into this. I legit sat there for about 5 minutes going like, why do I know this fucking narrator?
Mm.
And then I realized, why is fucking Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer narrator like silver and gold, silver? It's like some of these like iconic voice is in the middle of this fucking tripe.
And yeah, you're talking about Burl Ives.
Burl Ives, yes. Like it was one of those like, man, I know this voice. And then finally it like got to a point where I had to Google it, and I found out like, holy fuck, that's why I know this guy.
Yeah, I did a lot of voice work back in the day.
And this is, I think, at the tail end of his life, because either his family tricked him into doing it because they wanted fucking money,
right?
Or
they had to get that Star Wars money,
or he was fucking just obliterated drunk throughout the entire thing. And like my note says, how many times did Burl Ives go, what the fuck am I actually doing on this piece of shit?
Right. Yeah. So, but again, a difference from the holiday special where the first 15 minutes of the holiday special is nothing but fucking Wookiee dialogue, no translation, no narrator. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Where at least as the Ewoks are all fucking yelling at each other, you have a narrator telling you what the fuck is going on at this point. Like, oh, dude's 2 sons got fucking lost in the forest, and now he's going to take the glider and go look for them.
I'd rather have fucking fucking strange Wookiee bullshit happening, because at least at some level you're watching and going like, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right? This is we're gonna take these costumes, which hopefully they fucking dry cleaned from Return of the Jedi, to put on these other random people.
Right.
They're like, all right,
Warwick Davis, who did reprise his role as Wicket.
As Wicket. And dude. I mean, it just
all right, so yeah, so anyway, we open up after that intro scene with the parents, and then the Gorax, which, by the way, the Gorax, the big fucking creature, the main bad guy, he was reintroduced into current canon with the Forces of Destiny, those little shorts that they would do. Again, the powerful female characters, we have to let everybody know that females are the best. It was the Leia one of those. Apparently she went to fucking Endor and helped the Ewoks fucking defeat the Gorax, so apparently that's canon now.
At what point during this adventure, like how far are we from the events of the second Death Star blowing up?
Okay, so this is the thing. Allegedly, when it was initially conceived, it was a prequel to all of the original Star Wars movies. But during Legends material, Kevin J. Anderson, who wrote the Jedi Academy trilogy, he did like an illustrations book that kind of like helped clarify some of the canon, and he placed it actually between Empire and Jedi. So this is supposed to take place before Return of the Jedi.
And how we're going to know that? How?
Well, by doing research. That's the only way we know.
So when this came out, it was...
You had no idea.
You had no idea.
It could have been before, it could have been after, and it was really kind of irrelevant.
What do you mean it was irrelevant? Like, this entire time they're fucking walking around with their sticks and shit, right? I'm expecting to see at least, I don't know, like, Wicket's in the middle of this shit, right? So you would think in this village, they'd have, like, some fucking stormtrooper heads still fucking on pikes and shit.
If it took place afterwards, yeah.
Right. But the whole time I'm thinking, like, when did this take place? Because I have no fucking idea. I'm a Star Wars fan. I was introduced to Ewoks in this scenario, fucking beating up on stormtroopers and shit. How do we not have any reference to that whatsoever?
Right. Well,
none.
Well,
and then have this fucking giant or normal size human in a fucking Godzilla costume kind of starts, I'm stomping around because I'm big.
Referring to the Gorax.
Yes. Like, we may need to make sure that everyone knows that he's bigger because we're going to make the sound bigger. Blah.
Okay. I just have to say, as a 6-year-old kid, I was convinced by the effects of the Gorax.
But where are you now? We'll talk about that in a minute.
All right. Fair enough. But,
I'm not a 6-year-old kid. I'm a 45-year-old fucking child. And I still...
All right. Anyway, moving on. So what did you think about the score of this, by the way? Because I paid close attention to the score. It was not John Williams.
Right.
But it sounded like they were trying to imitate that John Williams style for Star Wars. And I actually enjoyed the score.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It really wasn't bad. I looked at it on Wikipedia. It was like Peter Brennan or something words.
Peter North or something like that.
Peter, go fuck yourself. I don't know. Peter, I don't want to be associated with this fucking triple.
Anyway,
it wasn't bad. It really wasn't. Like you kind of got the impression that like the sense of what was going on, like all the Endor themes, right? Wicked's theme and stuff like that. Like they played on those same things, right?
Right.
So, you know, it kind of just had that like a little bit of lightness to it. Yeah, it didn't put me off at all.
Okay.
So much other shit did, but that wasn't
one. So one of the notes that I had was early on when they Deej and his two kids, after he fucking found them like chilling on the side of a mountain, they decided to go investigate the strange thing he saw from the sky, which was the crashed ship of the family.
The Glint.
Is that the name of the ship?
Well, no, it was like when he was flying over. He saw
it was like that shiny.
Didn't pay attention to it because his fucking dumb kids were lost.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I love his two kids that are like constantly fighting.
So the fighting kids is probably one of the more realistic aspects of this.
Yeah,
the two brothers.
They're like actually like throwing punches and shit at each other in those Ewok costumes.
Would it have been as a kid, like, all right, put these costumes on, and you're basically wearing like sumo suits that you can just fucking roll around and
now go beat the shit out of each other.
The costume creator should have, if it didn't win a fucking Oscar, should have, because these costumes held themselves together pretty fucking well.
Well, oh, by the way, this movie actually won an Emmy back then for like best special effects. So, and we'll get into that as we talk about some of the effects, some of the better and not so better effects of this show. So yeah, but when they fucking found Sindel, right? Because she was so sick at the beginning, you know, the fucking coughing all the time.
Well,
she caught the Endor Rona is what she got.
Well, I was thinking things like, I don't know, fucking you were just in a spaceship crash, maybe you had internal bleeding or some shit like that.
True.
You know, but I guess I was overthinking it.
Yeah, but the magical Ewok juice fucking can cure internal bleeding, or the Ewok Rona, whatever.
Apparently.
Right.
At least 3 doses of it, though. Just 1 dose? Not enough.
Right.
We need my medicine! We need my medicine! Keep saying the same line over and over again just for emphasis.
Oh, well, and that's the thing, too. It's when you're humans and you're trying to communicate with this fucking alien species, it's either say the same thing over and over again and eventually they'll understand, or just talk really slow and they'll understand.
Or scream loudly.
Right.
Which is what this fucking Mace kid kept constantly doing.
Yeah.
Like I said, they found what they did. It was like, okay, we're going to cast this kid, right? And it went, all right, so what do we know about kids in Star Wars up to this point, right? We know Luke was a whiny little shit.
Yeah.
You know, so I think
and that was successful.
Yeah,
so.
I think we should find some Luke Skywalker, kind of cut his hair a certain way. Make sure he's a little bit awkward, real whiny. All right. So I want to see the audition tapes of the fucking all the kids that they turned down for this role. Right. And be like, okay, no, we want this whiny little fuck. And this is the kid. His eyes are a little farther apart. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of like built like he should be in an Ewok costume. You know, he looks like he might have a little issue with his. Don't worry about that. Yeah. He's a whiny little fuckhead. People are gonna hate him. It's gonna be great.
So anyway, this moment where we're introduced to Sindel, the 3 Ewoks go into the fucking ship. And Deej, the dad, has got a fucking knife, right? And he hears the coughing from Sindel, and he opens up the thing. He's like, fucking, ah! You know, imagine the trauma of being like a little 8-year-old kid seeing this fucking bear with these crazy eyes, by the way.
Right.
Like, all these fucking Ewoks have those crazy fucking non-blinking, beady fucking eyes, which is kind of psychotic looking.
Yeah.
Like, talk about the traumatizing experience that she's probably going through.
That's why you need that light music.
Right. Oh, this is fun, right? It's not creepy at all.
But again, her reactions were probably the best. It was the best human acting. She won. She wins. Best.
Oh yeah,
best acting of the fucking cast.
Of the 4 humans in this. Yeah, she was the best, and she wasn't even that great, to be honest. Because
she was 8.
Right.
However old she was.
You got to give her credit.
She was young as shit.
Yeah.
And did remarkably well.
Right.
Considered.
And then, of course, we're introduced to Mace, who's like, get away from my sister. And
this
Oh, he's the worst.
Just when I'm, you're sitting there, you're watching it, and you're like, okay, I'm trying to get into some sort of flow of this movie, which is impossible. Don't try. Don't try. Just you're along for the fucking ride. Yeah, I wanted to hurt this human being.
Yeah,
I just did. Like, can't he fucking fall into a pit with punji sticks? And
he fucking not for lack of trying.
Yeah,
because he got into all the trouble throughout the course of this fucking movie.
I'm gonna randomly shoot this blaster in here, like,
yeah,
and he could fucking the fucking Ewok when they're in the ship when they first got rolled up by the Ewoks, right? You get the Ewok fucking like, oh yeah, we surrender, and one of them drops, rolls, takes out the kid's legs, and then fucking get on top of him. Is like, you can't keep me down. I'm like, yeah, they did.
Yeah,
and pretty effectively too.
Yeah.
Like you looked like it should something be on fucking live PD.
Yeah,
right now. Like,
yeah, and then they're carrying him right after that, tied to a fucking gurney.
Oh god, I wish they just fucking lit him on fire. I really do. It would have been so much more interesting. Oh, and this is why, by the way, this is for young audiences. I guess it's approved for. I noted that specifically. I had to rewind to look to see what the rating was, and it was Y. I'm like, okay. Later on, when we get to the fucking stabbing, the more stabbing and killing and falling into the fucking abysses and shit. And let me fucking throw an axe into the back of this fucker's head.
Oh no, it gets fucking dark later on. Especially again, as a 6-year-old kid watching this, there were some really traumatizing moments in this. So
spiders.
Yeah, and the fucking when Mace again, who always gets into trouble, gets fucking stuck underwater. But we'll get there.
Oh yeah. Why was that there? Why was that scene there? Did we ever flush that?
Well, and that's the thing,
or was that part of the fellowship of the fucking thing? Like, oh, the stick you were just using like a fucking golf club a little bit ago.
Yeah. And
where did they get a ball from? Like they're playing her and Wicked. We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Yeah. So yeah, they go back. Cindel's fucking sick. She's coughing all the time. They got the little medicine that they give her that they eventually run out of. So they got to fucking go find more
medicine.
Right. That's where you get the scene where Mace is like losing his shit. He's like, we need more medicine, and they're like,
losing his shit would imply he ever had his shit to begin with.
Right.
Did I mention I hate this fucking kid? Hate him.
And to be fair, I hated Mace even back then. Even in 1984, I couldn't fucking stand Mace. I'm like, dude, if you just fucking chill the fuck out and just did what these fuking Ewoks were telling you, you'd be all cool in the gang.
Already done fucked up Ron by fucking walking away from the damn thing.
Right.
Although the Gorlak or whatever the fucking
Gorax,
whatever, the Godzilla could have killed all 4 of them and then been like written and directed by George Lucas immediately.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get to like why he kept them alive too. But when they go to get the fucking medicine and he sees the little chipmunk or whatever sticking out of the trunk of the tree, he's like, oh, what's that? Oh, I'm gonna reach my hand in, and then fuck, and he gets caught by that fucking tree monster, and they gotta bail him out.
Let's talk for a second about the fucking livestock.
Oh yeah, like in the Ewok village or in the Wicket home.
Why do we have a llama? Why is there a fucking llama? Like, all right, so horses are apparently a thing in Star Wars all of a sudden on Endor. Right. We've seen that before, right?
Oh yeah.
And apparently by Jedi, all the horses were fucking eliminated. Right?
I guess.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Fuck it. So horses, miniature horses, llamas, chickens, ferrets.
Well, I think, okay, because we didn't have CG back then. Again, this was 1984, and they probably didn't have the budget for too much. They spent their whole claymation budget on the fucking wolf in the forest.
Right.
So,
money well spent.
So,
that and the fucking effects with the flying with the glider, like with the Ewok and the hang glider. There were some effects there.
Sure.
Which weren't bad.
So they're like, we have to find some strange looking animals that you can get here on Earth, but that look like they might belong on a separate
planet. Why have the llama and just only include it in a couple of fucking like background shots?
Because it's a strange looking animal. I don't know.
Do you hear yourself justifying this shit? Do you hear it coming out of your mouth? Like, oh, well, obviously it should have been there. We should have had more llamas in Star Wars. Fact is, that should be a podcast on its own. Like, llamas in Star Wars, and let's figure out a place where we can have llamas everywhere else in Star Wars. Why not on Tatooine? Right? They kind of survive in arid areas, right? Let's have llamas in fucking Tatooine. Somebody get on that.
Dave is such an asshole.
Wally, if you're watching right now, I want a llama on Tatooine graphic that we can put on a t-shirt.
He's still working on his cyborg. Leave him alone.
No, he's working on our next t-shirt is what he's working on right now. And I will make it worth your while, Wally. I'll make it worth your Wally. Fuck those llamas. Fuck that ferret. The random. Oh, here's a chicken. Next. Like, I'm just going to pan into this chicken and then move away. Chickens are a thing.
So anyway, after they fucking, rescue Mace from the fucking tree monster and get the medicine for Sindel and get her all back up to snuff, Mace pulls Sindel aside. It's like, hey, as soon as I can get my blaster back from these fuckers, we're out of here.
Right.
And I'm like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, like way to shit in the mouths of the fucking people who just fucking helped you.
Yeah, because he's a little fucking douchebag.
Yeah, they saved your fucking sister's life.
These parents that let their fucking kids wander off. Oh, with their life monitors, by the way.
Well,
the life monitors, because again, that's been a fucking thing throughout the entirety of Star Wars.
Well, we're going to talk about that when we talk about the sequel, but I digress because the life monitors actually have a bit of a role in the sequel. But
so they're playing the long game, is what you're telling me.
Well, no, it's
and why would this one animal have a pelt on it that has the life monitor of the fucking father?
That's the fucking thing too, because the life monitor is meant to be worn on your wrist,
right?
And then the other 3 people in your family can see if you're still alive if the fucking light is lit. When they kill the fucking forest wolf,
right,
and they find the dad's life monitor, Sindel's like, oh, that means daddy's alive. Does it though?
Yeah. Well,
does it mean that he's
that's
alive?
What they said, like, oh, he's obviously alive because it's on the body of this thing that's trying to eat us.
Are you sure? Like, do you know how these things work?
Who wrote this? And why is Burl Ives? It's still narrating it at that point. It's just like, I'm reading this. This doesn't make any sense. Don't worry, Burl. Just keep fucking reading.
Yeah. One thing that I wrote in here, the night sky effects in this actually looked really good to me. There are several moments where we see like shots of the sky and other planets or moons in the fucking skyscape, and they all look really good, especially when you see the night shots when they're in the forest at night and you see the fucking sky and the planets and the stars. I thought those looked really good.
I think for 1984, they definitely look good. Not as good as the movies, obviously, but I think with the matte paintings and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, the paintings of the village, those look like garbage. Like, those look like a fucking child's crayon drawing. But the sky, I thought looked fucking fantastic. So, anyway, I just had that as one of my notes. Then there was this line where, it was supposed to be like Sindel and Mace having this heart-to-heart. And this is where Mace said, and I quote, "I wish Dad never got mad at me so many times." And I'm like, you're admitting to us that you were a shitty kid.
Yeah.
Like, not that we haven't figured this out.
Shit parents, shitty kid.
Yeah.
Like, the only redeeming factor, if he has one, is the fact that he's looking out for his sister.
Right. Which, right after that, he tells Sindel, "I'll protect you. We don't need these fucking bears. I'll protect you." Right after that, the fucking forest wolf shows up.
Yeah.
And is chasing them through the fucking forest. And they're running for their fucking lives.
Run away.
So the wolf effects were stop motion when the wolf was actually in motion. Which,
you're kidding. I had no idea.
It actually didn't look that bad for 1984. It was better than Clash of the fucking Titans. Go back and watch that piece of shit.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was a California Raisin commercial that was like pretty fucking good. A commercial for raisins.
Anyway,
that was actually pretty good.
I'm sure they were on a limited budget, but overall,
because they were paying these high-priced actors.
Now, to be fair, this was Star Wars too, so they should have had a little bit of extra money to throw at this.
One would hope.
But I guess they were working under a budget because Lucas didn't know how to manage his fucking money back in the 80s.
Well, yeah, can't argue with that.
I mean, he fucking went into bankruptcy in like fucking 86 or something like that. But we digress. So what I thought was cool was after the fucking Ewoks killed the forest wolf, the practical effect of the dead wolf on the ground actually looked really good.
Yeah.
Because it was a practical effect. It wasn't like a claymation or anything else. It was like this fucking like set piece this fucking dead wolf with the tongue hanging out like
right with the life monitor
right,
conveniently attached to it.
Which, by the way, he was killed by a single fucking dart shot by Wicket. Like, how much fucking poison? Like, how much potent poison did these fucking Ewoks have access to?
How many
that this one fucking dart killed this massive fucking wolf?
Well, apparently that they only had the one, a break in case of emergency.
Right.
Have this one because they certainly didn't use that against any of the stormtroopers.
Right. Not the or the Gorax or anything else.
Yeah,
like
we're just gonna have this one opportunity to fucking use it with this hyper accurate fucking giant dart that yeah. I guess we're just gonna go with it.
Yeah, much like the one tree on Endor that had the fucking super medicine for Sindel, there must be like one tree that has like this fucking extremely potent fucking poison.
Can we haven't gotten to it yet. We haven't gotten to the caravan yet, have we?
Oh no, the Fellowship of the Caravan?
Yes.
No, we haven't gotten there yet. We're close though, because this is when they found the life monitor on the fucking forest wolf, and then they take it to oh god, what was the name? Logray, right?
I don't fucking know.
Logray. The village shaman who uses the fucking the spinny top of future telling,
right?
Using the fucking life monitor to tell them exactly where the parents are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they see that they're in the fucking cage and the Gorax has them.
Uh-huh.
And then they start the Fellowship of the Caravan.
Right. Because here's these items, right? We're going to draw these lines on the ground. Here's these items. Here, kid, you need this rock. Fuck this rock. Obviously, what the fuck would I need this?
Because he's a little prick.
I want the shiny thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, that's for something else. Like, okay. So now let's have this other discovery, right? That Ewoks, the tribe of Ewoks, need to be bribed to participate with the fucking Fellowship of the Caravan.
Sure.
Right? So like, oh, here's this thing we're going to bribe this person with, which I think was theirs to begin with.
Right. Yeah. Well, if you're talking about Chukatrok and the fucking tooth that goes,
these names tells me how many times you actually saw this.
Oh, dude, you don't even know. So, but yeah, Chukatrok and his like skeletal like jaw that he has on his fucking neck as a necklace. There's that one tooth that was missing. They had the fucking tooth. And that was one of the two items that they had to go deliver to other Ewoks out in the wild to help them on their fellowship.
It's fucking jerk off Ewok. They're chopping down a tree to try and kill everybody. Like, this is the most funny thing I've ever done in my life.
You have my tooth and my crystal and my axe.
It's fucking
Fellowship of the Ring.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I even have it. Oh, I wrote it down as Fellowship of the Life Monitor. But yeah.
Same thing. Here in Lunar Girl, you were 100% right.
What'd she say? The Ewoks topic was Dave's idea. Yes, we mentioned that at the top.
It was
of the
my
show.
fucking idea. Oh god.
So as they're going, as the Fellowship of the Caravan is going through, I'm like, all of these settings look like California. This had to have all been shot in California. When they're going through the forest, it looked like the exact forest in Northern California that they shot Return of the Jedi.
Right.
The sort of high desert or the mountainy kind of terrain all look like something you would see in California. As a California native, I know. And I'm sure pretty much all of that was shot out there.
Yeah. Because on the forest moon of Endor, there's obviously high desert and like these mountains and stuff like that too. I
mean, obviously.
Even though the forest is the what we're going to call this moon.
Right.
But yeah, here's this big all right. Okay. I'm just making sure that we're all tracking what's actually happening here. Because that was my fucking thought as we fucking go into here, like, oh fuck, here's Mordor or whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
And how are we going to get up there? Oh, the rock. Obviously.
Well, hold on. You're jumping ahead.
This fucking rock. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, quit jumping ahead. So we're not even there yet.
I wish I was drinking.
So this is the point where we enter Jason's childhood trauma, where after they're going through the deserty area, and Mace comes up to the pool of water, because Jason has always had this innate fear of drowning. Like that to me is like the most horrible way to die. I've always feared drowning.
Right.
It's always been like kind of on the top list of like fucking terrible ways to die.
Right.
Aside from being burned alive, fucking drowning is like number 2 for me.
Okay.
And that scene where Mace fucking goes up to the creek and he's like, I'm just going to touch the water for whatever reason, because I've gotten into so much fucking trouble already doing whatever the fuck I want to do. I might as well just go over here and just fuck with this mystical pool of water, where he touches it and all of a sudden, whoop, apparently this body of water will suck in anything that kind of comes close to the surface. And now he's stuck under it with like a fucking glass top, and he's very quickly running out of air and life.
Jason, why is this here? Is this scene here just so that we can use Wicket's fucking golf club?
Well, as we go through, we realize that each one of the items that were given to the people, the Fellowship of the Caravan, were all had a purpose,
right?
Except for the fucking feathers that they wore on their heads.
But why, like this? I watched this and went like, this makes no sense whatsoever. Like, it's not that abnormal for a kid to go up to like some water and look in the water and be like, oh, let me splash around some water. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're marching through the fucking high desert. Maybe he's fucking thirsty. You know, oh, this is it that unreasonable to fucking go? No, as soon as the kid touches the fucking water, now you're in this fucking you're getting ready to shoot a cover for a fucking Nirvana album.
Right.
And it doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
And how does the girl know that he's under the fucking thing when she's just as far away from this fucking thing?
Right. She's not playing with Wicket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you know, she's got that sisterly sense. She could.
Is that what it is? Like something in the Force, maybe?
I guess.
All right. That's what we're gonna go with.
Yeah, the Force.
And then, so not only did the kid fucking touch the water, bloop, he's under the water now, right?
Yeah.
Which apparently all the thrashing and mouth opening and everything else, the kid must have fucking the greatest Michael Phelps lungs.
Right, because this scene lasted like 3 minutes, and I'm like, this dude has got to be dead by the end of this.
It's like, no way. Like, he should just float to the surface and then they pump him out, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. We're just going to go ahead and double down on this action. So when we stick a stick into there, the stick disappears.
Right.
Well, the kid didn't disappear.
Well, kind of he did.
No, he's in the fucking water. Like, they have like a piece of clothing. Like when they pan out and then you see the fucking Ewoks are like trying desperately to put something in the water. Like they have this like piece of clothing simulating that this is where the kid is. Obviously, it's not him.
Sure.
But, you know, all right, pan out, he's splashing around. Then they're like sticking. It didn't make any fucking sense, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Like, I'm going to stick the stick in. We're going to fucking throw a piece of rope in there. Like, oh, wow, look at it disappear. No, you use your magic stick. Oh, the fucking magic stick. Not the green wavy wand that fucking hypnotizes spiders. No, not that. The magic stick. Obviously. What was I thinking? This would have been a perfect movie to watch like we watched the holiday special.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
And all of these things that I was fucking saying to myself, I could have said live along with the fucking thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Wicket uses his magic walking stick and fucking saves Mace. And then we immediately go into another fucking beat. I guess they thought, like, yeah, we got to keep the people's attention. We got to keep going with one exciting thing after another.
Right.
And immediately we go into this scene where Cindel's in the horse container that's on top of the horse that's carrying her and Wicket.
Right. Which Mace, obviously, he couldn't go in there because that's for kids.
Right.
He had to scream it.
Yeah, and it gets scared. Like Wicket's hanging from a fucking branch and he falls off and the branch fucking whacks the horse in the ass or whatever and it fucking just takes off with Cindel inside. And then now we have this whole other like 3-minute sequence where Chukatrog is chasing the horse with Cindel in it and trying to stop it before
on the mini horse.
Yes.
Because now we actually have a purpose for the mini horse because it's carrying an Ewok.
Yeah.
But yet you have this giant normal size horse too.
Yes. Because that's what we have on Endor.
I'm just making sure we're all tracking.
Right. So, again, they stop the fucking horse, whatever. Then we go to your favorite scene where they set up camp for the night, right? And Mace, again, because he hasn't fucking learned anything up to this point, now sees some shit going on outside his tent, like this little fucking, like a little fucking, like a firefly or something going by his fucking, the entrance of his tent. And he's like, well, I have to investigate because, you know, sticking my nose into other things' business has been working out well for me up to this point. So I'm going to go outside and fucking see what the fuck's going on. And this is where we get to, I think you wrote in the notes, hold on, let me get this verbatim. Dave wrote in the notes, Tinkerbell whistles anger.
No, Tinkerbell whisties, because that whisties is what the Ewoks called them.
Oh.
You know, not in Ewokese. Use this English term, whisties.
Okay.
Which immediately, for me, turned to anger. Because, all right, we're going to introduce this thing. We're going to talk about a candle that doesn't burn down.
Right, yeah. That was the item that Sindel got,
right.
The candle that never burns out.
Which, spoiler alert, like, you definitely see that candle going down. Like, it's definitely, they didn't bother, like, trying to make that, well, let's maintain this with plot. We're just going to have the same candle, multiple of them, and we'll just replace it for each scene so it doesn't look like it's burning down. No, it's definitely burning down. Rewind it. So we're going to do this, and we're going to have this fucking Firefly demonstration of the whisties that everyone gets all excited about. And he can catch one and keep it in his fucking pocket. Put Tinkerbell in his pocket for later.
Right.
Although I will say, I found the actual, like, animation,
the effects, yeah,
was actually like whatever cocaine and fueled fucking thing these whisties are on, right?
Yeah,
it's like this.
They got those big black eyes.
The black eyes. It was like super emotive too.
Oh yeah,
and it was constantly. It was like going through, like, stand like this, doing this, and then, like, the eyes would change and everything else. I'm like,
they're just fucking tripping.
This is the most spastic fucking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
like
it was very holiday special-ish.
Yeah, you could say that. But yeah, the whisties, it just like, why are we? Oh, like, here, wake up! And then you have the one Ewok that comes out, like, fuck the whisties.
Oh yeah, the brother. Yeah,
bed.
when she split into like fucking like 100 other fucking things, and they're all flying around, and everybody comes out, and they're like, oh, what's going on? And the brother, the oldest brother, comes out. He like stretches, like, ugh. He looks around.
It's like holding a blanket or some shit.
Yeah, he's like, fuck it, I'm going back to bed. Yeah.
Best character. Right,
yeah,
right
that was actually a really funny scene. Yeah. So yeah, the one last one is left after Sindel fucking absorbs them all into the fucking candle, which
because she knows to do that. Obviously, this is what this candle's for.
Right. Well,
she was told by the Ewoks that this is what, hey, if you encounter whisties, then you need to take this candle, put it on the ground, because that's going to concentrate said whisties, and then you're going to need that for later.
Yes. right.
Right.
Foreshadowing.
Yes. I'm just making sure we're all on the same page here, folks.
Yep. And then, of course, there's one left over who didn't get absorbed into the candle, right. And then Mace took that like it's his own personal fucking pet, right. I guess. And he named her, which we didn't even find out until later, is Arena.
Yeah.
So
because reasons,
right?
I'm sure she just accepted that as like, oh, this is my name now, because that's what you do, right? Like,
yeah.
Anyway,
and then of course they get to the fucking Gorax lair finally. And then, of course, the shaman chick is...
Am I the only person that forgot that the Gorax was a thing up until this point?
Right.
Because it's like, oh, here's the thing that took the parents away. Then, like no, we're not going to see, like, no, like, in-between scene. No, we're just going to fucking go fast forward to the end. Here's the Gorax. Was off jerking off or doing something, right?
Right.
And then somehow it comes back to the table to, like, gnaw on a bone. And then it's like, nah, you know what I need to do right now? I need to go harass those humans that I haven't killed yet, right? For no fucking reason.
And that was one of the things I was going to bring up. As I'm rewatching this, I'm like, if it was going to eat them, why didn't it just eat them? Why is it just keeping them in a cage at this point?
Or poke them with a stick or something like, I'm just playing with my food.
Right. Or at this point, the only thing I can think of is it's keeping them as a pet, right? You know, you think people that keep fucking birds in a fucking bird cage as pets. You know, that this is my pet. You know, when my friends come over, hey Bob, did you see my new humans that I have in the cage?
And I want to poke them with a stick to get them to make noise. Look, they fucking screech. Look at it. Like, oh yeah, it's fucking great. I'm highly entertained.
Mm-hmm.
I love that idea. I love the idea of having a parakeet in your house, and when you go to them, when you're poking it, they're actually like screaming, like, "Oh, help me! I'm trapped here! Oh no!"
And that's the only thing I can think of. Because again, if he was going to eat them, he would have done it weeks ago, right?
Right.
Why else?
Or however many days they've been traveling.
Yeah. So why else would you keep them in this fucking cage for this long? He really like treated them as fucking pets, as like little like parakeets.
And they're obviously he must have been feeding them or something, because they weren't like malnourished. It wasn't like, oh,
right,
I can't move because I haven't eaten. No. And the fucking bars of the thing were big enough where homeboy can fucking, I'm going to climb up. Obviously not a stuntman. Definitely not a stuntman. After they fucking put the axe on the thing and saw it from a fucking mile away. It's like, all right, here's this giant axe. What are they going to do? Oh, they're going to use it as some sort of fucking springboard. Yep, that's exactly what they're going to do.
Which, by the way, when they did that, the range of movement was like that.
Yeah.
Like that. So it's like, how is he going to jump like fucking 50 feet in the air with a range like?
Obviously, with 2 Ewoks, they must have weighed it. I don't know. Let's
they're a lot more dense than we realize.
Say 300 kilograms each, right?
Sure,
so now we're going to take 600 kilograms from a height of, call it 18 feet.
Yeah, you're being generous.
That amount of energy obviously translates into throwing up some fuckface kid high enough where he can fucking get it through and get on this fucking cage. I get it. Like I'm being really, really like awful about it, but it's awful.
We skipped over to the spiders, by the way.
We did skip over to spiders. How could we have possibly skipped over to spiders?
Right.
How did you not know that when they came across, oh, look at this convenient thing that you can climb across like a ladder.
That looks just like a spider web.
It looks like spider webs.
It's spanned across an opening where a spider web would be, where it's trying to catch things.
Right. Couldn't possibly foreshadow some horrific like spider. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Where did the fucking knife come from that got the first spider? Did one of the Ewoks throw that? There was like a flying weapon that took out the first spider.
Well, that was Mace. He had a knife on him, right?
I thought that was later. Oh no, maybe it was Mace.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Mace had the fucking knife, and like the first spider came down because he was the first one across the web,
right?
And the spider came down. He's like, "Fuck!" and he pulled out the knife real quick and killed it. And he's like, "All right, coast is clear. Come on down."
Where are these people from that this kid's got like? They demonstrated his axe work with the fucking other ass clown, right? They got to put his axe on top of the other axe. Like, wow, I've never seen anything like that before.
Chukatrok is who you're talking about, but yes.
Whatever the fuck. The dude he had the conductor outfit on, like, looked like he was a band major. That fucking Ewok. That like knife throwing, axe throwing, shit like that. For somebody that has like decent use of these tools, to be such a fucking noob in the forest, like why do you have this skill set?
Right.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, again, these are space traveling fucking, this is like the Swiss Family Robinson of fucking space travelers.
Are they?
You know? Kind of.
They're the worst. Like, what were they doing when they crashed? Like spaceship crash. Right,
Star Cruiser crash, which we totally skipped over that scene, where Sindel is telling Wicket about how they came here on a Star Cruiser and we crashed.
And as was brought up in the chat earlier, when Wicket can say fucking human words, like speak basic, and if this is before Jedi, loses that ability entirely when he encounters Leia and the rest of all that fucking shit. But whatever he retained, it must have a goldfish brain because gone.
So you don't even know where the family is from, do you? Because that was revealed in the sequel. The family is from Earth. They are human beings from the planet Earth, which is revealed in the sequel. Which that's where Wilford Brimley takes fucking Sindel at the end of that fucking movie. So yeah, Earth was canon in Legends material. You never realized that, did you?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so they're space travelers from the planet Earth.
Is that why they suck so bad?
Probably.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So anyway.
That's an awful small ship to be traveling from Earth.
Right.
Like you would think like God, I don't even want to I can't do it.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, big spiders. Oh, the second spider that attacks fucking Deej as he's like the last guy going across the fucking spider web across the chasm.
Deej nuts.
You can see the fucking strings on this thing that are holding it up because it's like a puppet, right?
Yes.
And you can see the fucking strings that are holding this thing up and that's attacking him. I'm like,
in
wow,
fairness
really?
to their design, they are spiders. You would imagine that there is some sort of web.
That they have 3 strings coming from their fucking head and a couple more coming from their fucking body.
Yeah, no, I tried. That was like, all right, this is somewhat reasonable that there would be a fucking string hanging here.
Yeah. And then, of course, I have in my notes a pretty lame catapult setup where they have the axe that has like the 2 inches range of motion to catapult fucking Mace up to the cage.
Yeah, obviously. It's obviously the best fucking thing ever.
Now, I thought the Gorax, the effects that they did and the way that they presented him, especially as a kid, I thought they were very believable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you felt watching it this time. Like, I could see it this time. Yeah, it's a dude in a costume. But at the same time, the way they shot it and everything, it was good enough. It was passable.
Again, watching it now, I think they went to extreme lengths to identify that this person was big.
Right.
It's like Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yeah, the slow movement.
The boom. Every footfall was a fucking like fee, fi, fo, fum. I'm going to poke humans with a stick to make them cry a lot. And then there was like the hair on the Gorax. It was like Teen Wolf with this fucking this mane of hair that was like all over the fucking place.
Well, that's kind of what he looked like, a wolf man, really.
Yeah, I just like nowhere in Star Wars. When this comes out, there are 3 Star Wars movies.
Yes,
3 movies full of fucking all sorts of different characters and monsters and everything else. We've been on this planet. We know what monsters are on this planet already. Whatever. In this system, let's say.
Sure.
Yet we're not going to do any of those. We're going to have horses, llamas, ferrets, chickens, mice. Forgot about the mice. Forgot about the fucking lizard.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lizard.
Yeah.
To go along
with crystal turns into a lizard.
Right.
And then turns into a mouse.
But that same crystal gets used
to hypnotize the
spider. And then
bring the icicle fucking rock down on the head of the
why didn't they fucking... How does the icicle rock not kill this fucking... doesn't kill Godzilla?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. As I see that fucking thing hit him in the head. I'm like, oh, he's fucking done.
Oh, here's a giant stalactite that hits him square in the fucking dome. No, apparently it's like got armor underneath the hair.
Yeah.
Like
he's got very thick skull.
He's got so much product in that hair that when the fucking stalactite hits him in the head, it just fucking just crumbles. It's like, no, nothing's getting past this hair.
Like even the effects made it look
so glorious.
The effects made it look like he took quite a fucking hit when that thing fucking came down and whacked him in the fucking dome.
Why go through that and then fucking have this obviously made of fucking styrofoam axe stick in the back of the dude's fucking head?
Right.
That doesn't kill him anyway. Oh, let's see him fall into this pit. You know what? I just thought of it.
What?
It's foreshadowing Palpatine falling into the pit, although you never see him actually die.
Right.
And then he shows back up like, ah!
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, so we kind of skipped around a little bit, but yeah, as they were getting Sindel and Mace's parents out of the fucking cage, Gorax shows up because one of the brothers like distracted the Gorax and is like chasing him or is like leading him through the fucking the caves, and he's chasing him around. And there's a thing where he's under a basket and all this other shit. But he's being distracted and they're getting the parents out. He finally fucking comes back and he's like, what the fuck? You know, you're taking my parakeets out of my fucking cage.
Right.
I'm going to kill you all now. And he's chasing them around and he goes down the fucking steps and he's slowly coming down the steps. They're like, okay, we're going to take this rope and we're going to tie it to this thing and we're going to pull it this. He can see you.
Right.
Like, you know I can see you, right?
No.
You're like right there, but
Nah.
apparently he didn't
Nah.
because they pulled the fucking rope and he's like, oh shit, and he trips.
And it's Ewoks, and we know that they've tripped fucking ATSTs, right? So
Right.
we obviously have to pull this trick out again.
Yeah.
And it's that it reminded me of Family Guy Star Wars, where it's like dun 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 dun, like it's just like let's keep repeating this extended sequence of coming down the stairs.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he must be getting closer. Oh, let's go back to the rope. No, he's not there yet. Back to the rope. Oh, he's almost there.
Yeah.
Back to the rope. No, not quite. Like, fuck. Just fucking do it already.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But, you know, even before that, we had the scene where, you know, he first sees them and he's like, the chase is on, but Chukotro, like, he doesn't follow everybody else. He like fucking stops and he makes that ultimate sacrifice where he lets everybody fucking go and get down the steps, and he like stops and he fucking distracts the Gorax long enough for them to get down and everything.
Hit him in the foot. And like
with the axe, yeah, he took his axe to the fucking hit him in the foot,
and then Mace comes back. It's like, come on, I got him! And then he's like, no, I'm going to keep hitting him in the foot. Like, no, you can go right now. No, I'm going to keep hitting him in the foot so that I can die.
Yeah,
right?
Well, but yeah,
so I can die and give you this axe, but like really kind of draw it out, and make you cry. Like,
well, hey, I gotta say, as a fucking 6-year-old kid watching this hit me.
Well,
like really hard.
But it doesn't like so. What this transmitted me back to is like the first time in Star Wars where I really have to deal with death, and like when one of the Ewoks gets killed by the fucking blaster fire, and it's like, oh hey, we both survived that fucking blast. Come on,
hey.
Like, oh no, this one's cooked. Like, oh no,
yeah.
Like, and like, all right, I'm gonna pull up that emotion real quick, and then move on to something else.
Well, but this is an extension of that.
What happened? No, we're gonna put that. We're gonna leave that little nugget in your memory so that every time you watch this, you think about this dead Ewok. Like, enjoy this death.
Well, and that's the way I felt.
Rated Y for everyone.
Right. That's the way I felt when Chukotro died, you know, because he made that sacrifice. He waited for them to all fucking start getting down the stairs. And he fucking, no, the shit was real. And even though Mace,
you can't die!
Even though the kid was a terrible actor,
oh my God.
You know, it was an emotional thing, at least as a kid.
I will give you that. I will give you that 100%. And if nothing else, throughout the entirety of this movie, the Ewok character is the Ewok character. I mean, it just is. Like, okay, we're going to have them die. We're going to have them fucking trip something. We're going to have them be goofy all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay. This fucking death teddy bears that stormtroopers have nightmares about are just painfully inadequate at just about everything that they're doing on their own fucking planet, by the way.
Right.
Like, why are they trying to Narthal to Garthog all of a sudden? Like, they have the Fellowship of the fucking Quest or whatever the fuck it is, right? They're like, oh, we need to go Narthal to Garthog. Just because these human parents are fucking there all of a sudden, like, we're gonna fucking man up and get the collection of fucking lizard rocks and fucking rocks and
right. Because to your point, at first when the shaman is like shows them where their fucking parents are, Deej is like, nah, man, your parents are fucking done, bro.
Yeah,
we ain't doing that shit.
It's over. Like, we need your help.
Yeah,
this stupid maniac child.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So, but yeah, eventually,
murder bears.
They did convince him to go. So yeah, so they fucking pull the rope. They trip fucking Gorax, even though he saw them. Like, he's walking down the stairs, he could see them. You motherfucker, you know I can see you.
Nope.
But they trip him anyway.
Yep.
The fucking rock to the head doesn't kill him, but then the mother takes the blaster, which has been very unreliable up to this point.
Facts.
Thankfully, it shoots this time, and the one blaster shot to his fucking shoulder is enough to knock him into the fucking pit.
No!
Which, to your point, this is typical 80s horror movie villain trope where it's like, you know, the villain's obviously not dead. He's going to come back for one last scare.
Right.
As Sindel and fucking the Wicket and the other brother come out, and they're just standing on the fucking ledge on the edge of that fucking chasm like, mommy!
Because why not?
It's like, no, get back in there. Get off of that fucking ledge, you fucking idiot.
Like, you've been trying to keep you out of the way all this time. Now's when you choose. Like, you happen to hear the fucking Garthog fall down into the fucking pit. Like, oh, it must be safe to come out now.
Right.
To this ledge without a handrail.
Yeah. No, and it wasn't safe because the fucking Gorax immediately comes up like on the other side and is like, oh, fucking kids. All right.
Apparently has super speed based on the timing of all this and the distance that he fell in the first sequence. He obviously like had this just like a trampoline at the bottom. It's like boring.
To be fair, the first time when he falls into the pit, you could see him kind of clutching onto the side of the wall. So he fucking clutched on.
Okay.
Not long after that
scene. I thought
he
bounced off of the wall and then disappeared into the darkness. That's what I saw. But I will yield to that because I am never, ever going to watch this again. So
I just might.
I will yield to that.
All right. So anyway, he comes up and like now he's fucking threatening Sindel and Wicket and the other brother, the younger kids.
Right.
And everybody's screaming on the other side, and that's when Mace takes fucking Chukachok's axe and fucking boom right in the back of the neck.
Right.
Done for good for the Gorax.
But is he?
Yeah, no, he is done at this point. We don't see him again.
Apparently, he's the only one that exists ever anywhere.
Well, I mean, it's got to be a species, right? It can't just be one. Like, where did he come from if he was only one?
An egg. Because the egg came first.
Is that how that works?
Yep. It was a large egg.
Fair enough.
Gotta have it with that fucking hair. You know that chicken, the chicken that they showed for a fucking half a second? I can't.
And you notice it was like partially shaved too. Like it was. Its feathers were like shaved.
I think my sister has actually one of those chickens that has like the big hair. It's like it's called something. It's like a gorgeous chicken or something. It's has something ridiculous like that.
Sure.
So the Gorgathon. I think consistently I have not called it the proper name through the entire thing.
The Gorax.
The Garthog had the same hair as that fucking chicken. Sidebar, because I forgot to talk about this last week.
Sure.
So apparently, I don't know if my sister's watching. She's probably not. She's in school, right? She's a teacher, like she's assistant teaching right now.
Okay.
And in school, they were talking about something about the Bad Batch, about it coming out. And my sister is completely oblivious to Star Wars.
Okay.
Right? So when I was growing up, like when I was 18, she was fucking 8.
Okay.
So I was moving out of the house and didn't really have an opportunity to like influence their Star Wars thing. She probably saw Spaceballs more than she saw Star Wars.
All right.
So that was her frame of reference.
Yeah.
So when the kids were talking about Star Wars stuff, my sister completely like no idea what they're fucking talking about. Didn't know the difference between Rogue One or anything else. So her students who are like middle schoolers, I think, something like that, are just busting her balls about it. About not knowing like the difference between fucking the original trilogy, the sequel trilogy, Rogue One. Like she had no fucking clue. So all they did was bust her balls about it. It's fucking great.
This is the sister that I met at the Halloween party?
Yeah.
Nice.
I could probably go through the fucking text traffic. What the fuck? Oh, shit. All right.
Yeah.
I'll take care of that later.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, we had this other like not so emotional moment where fucking Mace releases fucking Tinkerbell or Izarina into the wild. Like, I'm sure you have a family too, which was a very just not convincing performance whatsoever.
Right.
And then at the end we have our nub yub version of this fucking movie where they're all celebrating in the fucking Wicked household, and
right.
This is where we get the dad talking to Deej. It's like, we are both very lucky fathers, you know, like Christopher Walken, you know, we are lucky fathers.
Or I was thinking more of the Galaxy Quest aliens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You are our last hope.
Did we do Galaxy? We did Galaxy Quest, right?
I feel like we did.
Yeah. I mean, it's 4 years worth of podcasts about Star Wars-y shit.
I think we did that as part of Project VCR, actually.
Did we really?
Yeah.
So there's no historical documents.
No, that's gone.
We might have to do Galaxy Quest.
That would be fun.
I love that movie. It's such a great movie.
Yeah, it is. So, but yeah, that's the end.
Somebody write that down so we fucking do it.
Yeah, Jamie, put a pin in that.
Dude, I hated this movie. I
Really?
fucking hated it. It's actually remarkable that I stayed to the end. I think the only reason I did, which by the way, the first credit on the end sequence is fucking Burl Ives.
Of course.
Like he was probably, aside from Warwick Davis, who wasn't not really a person. Like,
I mean,
whatever.
he had done Wicked at that point.
Right, and that's it. He was the only Star Wars connected thing, person to this. And,
yeah, Burl Ives was the most famous person,
right,
up to that,
and he was the narrator.
Yeah.
I think it tells you everything you need to know about this product.
Right. Which it's so weird because you would think a year removed from Return of the Jedi, they would have had a good enough budget to hire real actors to play these roles as opposed to these fucking nobodies. Which, by the way, I did research, which let me pull this up right now. So Eric Walker, who played Mace, hasn't done anything since 2006. He's got a YouTube channel where apparently he makes his own music, where I guess it's kind of catchy. I listened to a couple of his music tracks, and it's okay.
According to his IMDb, he did some stuff for Star Wars.
Nothing official that I've seen.
That's, I don't know, Wikipedia.
Yeah. And then, of course, the actress, Finn. How the fuck? No, that's the mother.
Oh, my God.
No, the actress that played Sindel. Aubrey Miller, the last entry in her like Wikipedia or IMDb is from like 2005, where she lived with her uncle in Florida and she was supporting him and going to college at the same time. So none of the fucking actors from this went on to do anything,
right?
Because they all kind of sucked.
Well, all right. So I've spent however long, an hour plus, shitting on this thing, right? And I will continue to do that forever. But I will say that the Ewoks were the Ewoks. Like the Ewoks didn't do anything that was out of their character, aside from some of the language stuff.
Oh yeah, which we didn't talk about. You talked about Feege, right? Feege. Which that's easily fuck.
It's got to be fuck.
And then Lerdo.
Wicket says it right in the beginning, like when he doesn't get to go on the fucking joyride with the glider.
Yeah, it's like Feege. And Lerdo, they call each other Lerdo. That's got to be like asshole or fucking shithead or fucking dick or whatever.
I would imagine all the actors that played in the different Ewoks, they probably are like, hey, they got us saying some random shit. Let's create a little internal language. And I think some of that came out with this.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I don't like the Ewoks. I never had an affinity for them. I still don't. But the Ewoks were probably the best part of this. And obviously, as it should be, it's the Ewok Adventure. I would have rather have had non-humans throughout the entire thing, just Ewoks doing Ewok things. And I would have been okay with that. It would have been an Ewok Adventure, not this fucking, like I said, let's go to craft services, get two fucking idiots to be the parents. Then we're going to find fucking Admiral Akbar's fucking love child to play against this poor little girl that doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
And all right, ready, action.
Right.
But the Ewoks were the Ewoks. I just, for what it was, Ewoks were Ewoks.
Yeah.
It could have been done better. Yeah. It absolutely could have been
the
done better.
Ewok portion, I think, was fine the way it was, but the human portion, I think, could have been done way better.
I mean, yeah. No, that's...
Which, again, in 1984, you would think that they would have had the resources, the money. ABC would have put forth more effort to cast these roles in with better people who would have like actually been able to deliver dialogue in some sort of believable form. But no, it was pretty shitty as far as the humans go. But to be honest, for somebody who had seen this thing 60 times as a kid, rewatching it now and seeing how cringy the human lines were and everything, I still enjoyed it this time around when I watched it. And by the end, I'm like, oh, it's over already.
You enjoy the idea of this, not the actual thing.
Sure. And so much of it is tied to nostalgia, right?
Yes,
and
exactly.
For people like us, for Generation X, right? Nostalgia is everything.
Oh yeah, obviously.
You know, so yes.
Hence our affinity for collecting toys and shit.
Exactly. And my nostalgia
Right.
with the Ewok Adventure it's pretty high, right? Because of, again, my mother had the foresight to record this on a Betamax tape, and I watched it fucking 50 times as a kid, and I loved it, even though I hated Mace. Even back then, even as a 6-7-year-old kid, I fucking hated Mace. I appreciated the rest of it, and it still really kind of holds true to my heart, and I'll always love the Ewok Adventure. So here you go. You get two very different ends of the spectrum, from one guy who had never seen it, which still blows my fucking mind, and from one guy who fucking loves it. You get these two different perspectives. To the people who haven't seen it, I think you need to.
Well, listen, I don't know. Well, I guess we're assuming that it's going to be on Disney Plus for perpetuity now, since
I would imagine. Yeah.
So it's not like, hey,
yeah, if they do that rotating shit, then fuck Disney for doing that, honestly.
Yeah. So yeah, it's on Disney Plus. If you want to watch something, you're desperate to watch 96 minutes of something, then sure.
Yeah.
Personally, I think I'd rather take a good swift kick in the nuts, but I mean, you do you.
Yeah.
Again, I don't have any nostalgia for this. I'm watching it purely as a contrarian going into it, and it was only validated by me watching it, but I watched the whole fucking thing.
Which I do credit you for.
Thanks.
It's tough for watching it fresh in 2021. You know, big props for sticking to it.
If it wasn't Star Wars, this would have never have even gotten in there at all. Rewind real quick. The droids thing from the this or that, not on
Disney Plus. Okay,
not that I can see anyway. What I was thinking was, there is a Droid Tales that Lego had done. That was droid based, and I have seen episodes of that, and that's what I was thinking of, but it's not the droids that they're looking for.
Okay. These aren't the droids you're looking for. All right, really quick, I want to talk about the sequel only because,
well, do we want to talk about it? Because I feel like people are saying that the sequel is so much better.
I mean, I guess it depends on what you're looking for, but this is a bit of a spoiler, but it's only a spoiler in the first 5 minutes of the fucking movie. So I'm going to talk about it. So if you don't want to be spoiled by Battle for Endor, the second Ewok Adventure movie, then turn off now, because we're about to wrap this up.
If you've made it to this far, you've probably seen it. So go ahead.
Yeah. So in the first 5 minutes of that fucking movie, they kill fucking Mace and the parents. The Battle for Endor starts with these fucking pirates or somebody like landing on Endor and just like fucking taking out like massive amounts of fucking Ewoks and humans. Where that's why I was talking about the life monitor, right? You talk about the life monitors that they wear on their fucking wrists.
Right.
You can see the fucking life status of the rest of the people in your family.
Sure.
Sindel like gets away with Wicket and a few other Ewoks, and she's watching the fucking life monitors of the rest of her family like fucking extinguish one by one.
Wow.
And you see the fucking like Mace and the two parents fucking die one after the other.
That's
again within like the first fucking 5 minutes of the next movie. It's crazy.
You seem like, are they like get stabbed or did just fucking?
It's like blaster fire. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's fucking crazy. Like the fucking left turn that this movie takes.
I might just have to watch it for 15 minutes. I'll watch it.
Yeah. So yeah, the second movie is basically about Sindel and the fucking Ewoks escaping these fucking pirate people on fucking Endor, and basically having this big battle, and then her coming across fucking Wilford Brimley and him talking to her about his diabetes and everything else.
So Bronco Fett really wants to know, where'd you get that info on their home planet?
It's in the second movie.
That they're in Earth?
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch it, but I'm 92% 92% sure that that's what they said in the second movie.
I can only take you for at your word, but I think Bronco Fett's trying to call bullshit on that.
Okay, well, whatever. Well, we'll all watch it together and we'll figure it out. Fair enough.
I will watch the part where the fucking asshole parents and Mace die, and I'll be like, "Thank you."
Yeah,
and then I will go about my merry way
yeah.
and enjoy the rest of my life.
Which, by the way, I think the sequel was released about a year after the first one came out, so it wasn't that long. They didn't wait like 2 or 3 years. I think it was about a year difference.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that is absolutely amazing.
So.
What?
Next week.
Yes.
Are we not recording on Memorial Day?
So I don't think we should. Probably going to be coming back from State College. Probably not a good idea to push it on the schedule because honestly, Memorial Day traffic and everything else being what it is, it could very easily fuck up a timeline.
Okay.
So I think we should slip to the right 24. Well, let's record on Tuesday.
Okay. So for those of you who follow us on YouTube and watch us live, we will record on Tuesday, June the 1st. Even though it's still going to be, this is the May, right. And we're still going to talk about one last Star Wars topic before we get back into talking about music and movies and everything else. Right. We are going to talk about the last 2 episodes of The Bad Batch. Yes?
Yes. That's the plan.
And we'll finish up with our last Star Wars topic before we start branching off into other shit again. So yeah.
Okay.
For us next Tuesday.
Yep. And for like what we're talking about on Disney Plus, like right now under Star Wars Vintage, which is kind of how this came about, on May the 4th, they came out with some Star Wars Vintage stuff. You have Caravan of Courage. You have Ewoks, The Battle for Endor. Then you have the Story of the Faithful Wookiee, which I have not seen.
I don't know what that is.
Then you have the Ewoks animated. How you doing?
The Ewoks animated show.
Yes.
Which came out around the same time as the Droid show.
And then they have the original Clone Wars, the shitty version of the Clone Wars is all on there. So I gotta hand it.
Some people would take exception to that analysis.
That first fucking DVD, Clone Wars DVD.
Oh, you're talking the movie that kicked off the Clone Wars show, not the
not the
fucking guy that did the God damn it. I can't remember what the name of that dude was that did the first Clone Wars animated show.
Might be that guy. 2D micro series. Yeah, I didn't like any of that. But anyway, yeah.
Jendi Tartakovsky.
You're
the same guy that did Samurai Jack.
Okay.
That Clone Wars series, which is very beloved, by the way, amongst hardcore Star Wars fans.
Okay.
Well, Dave's such an asshole.
I like what I like, and what I don't like, then fuck it.
Yep. So, all right. Well, that's going to end this episode of the Sidebar Cantina.
Yeah, me too.
At a very good time because, man.
Social media, we are at the Sidebar Cantina on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us on Instagram.
Don't follow us on Twitter because fuck Twitter.
I don't even think we have a Twitter.
And I don't care. I wouldn't post on Twitter even if we had one.
Yeah.
Twitter is fucking gay.
Twitter's gay. So follow us on Instagram. And honestly, the only reason you should follow us on Instagram is because of our social media director, Luna Girl.
Yes.
She is pumping out content, getting engaged with our listeners and doing all the things that we should be doing. And she's doing it much better than we can do it. So
far better.
Follow at the Sidebar Cantina for that amazing content. Go if you're on the Facebook, which I'm on very little anymore. Like honestly, even I've been neglecting my duties on the Sidebar Cantina Facebook group, which is what I'm about to, kind of pimp. But the Sidebar Cantina Facebook group, it's our private group. There's almost 100 members in it now.
Yeah, especially if you want to have any kind of contact with us directly,
Yeah.
that's where to do it.
Yeah. Honestly. And
Even more than Instagram, but follow Instagram anyway, because it's awesome.
Well, Instagram's great because it's a kind of a good, I don't know, good area for just nonstop connectivity. But if you join our private Facebook group, then you get to interact with us on a more personal basis. And honestly, that's the only reason that I look at Facebook anymore, is to go on there and do that, because I don't need to be a part of the drama book. I really do not. It is not my favorite thing.
It's not worth it.
It's just not. And yeah, if you're not watching us live right now on YouTube, like the however many people are currently, I think 9. We still got 9 hanging on for the end of this.
Yep.
Yeah, subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/the Sidebar Cantina.
Yes.
And
you will do it.
You will do it. And support our fellow content creators.
Oh yeah, we got lots of friends out there who do their stuff.
Follow the Escape Pod, follow the Big Swede and all his adventures, the Swede Studios and all that good shit. Good Facebook and Keith Lehman. I don't know what he's been doing lately.
I haven't seen many posts from him lately, honestly.
I have not.
He's got a couple of young kids though, so
dude, life, right?
Life finds a way.
Yeah, it does, especially with younger kids, which I don't have anymore, which means I have more free time to do other stuff,
right?
Which is nice. It's nice. For those of you with young kids that are like, wow, I can't wait to have my own time back. It'll happen. You just gotta keep going. Just keep going forward.
Keith is done.
Oh, he's not doing layman's terms anymore.
His show is over. Oh shit.
Oh, all right.
I guess we should have.
Hey, you know what?
Paid more attention.
You should support Keith Lehman in whatever it is he's doing, because he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
Even if he's not producing content anymore. But that's we should have known that. We suck. Escape Pod, used and abused. They're still doing shows, right?
Scott and Kim, they're getting close to episode 100.
They
actually,
I know Scott was in the chat early, but he came in. He kind of came in late.
He comes and goes.
So I think he rewound and started watching from the beginning. So follow those guys. Support your content creators. Go for us for podcasting. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're on fucking Pornhub. We're on.
Ooh,
I don't know about the Pornhub bit, but we're on pretty much anywhere.
I might be. I don't know.
You're right. Anywhere you can get your podcasts, you can go on us, or you can follow us there. Leave us a review if there is some methodology to do that. We haven't checked in a couple weeks.
Oh, hold on. We'll do it live.
We're going to do it live. Jason's going to check for that. He's keeping the Facebook page. All right, well, good. Keith Lehman's still active on Facebook, which is cool. I probably shouldn't talk during this, because then Jason could edit it out with the truncated silence, but I'm not going to do that.
He's just going to keep talking.
I'm just going to keep talking. Escape Pod is doing a sequel trilogy this week. So I'm going to do my best to jump into that. It's tough. Wednesday nights are tough because there's a lot of stuff going on, but I would love to jump in there and basically spout a bunch of bullshit about the fucking sequel trilogy, or at least shit on one movie in particular.
Yeah.
Nothing?
No reviews. So to reiterate.
Oh, okay.
The Sidebar Cantina is where we push out all our audio now.
Right.
We were doing From a Gen X point of view for a while. We were doing all things Star Wars for a while, but from here on out, for the rest of our podcasting days, we are doing it from the Sidebar Cantina.
Yes. Go
there, leave us a review on iTunes or wherever you do your podcasts.
Audible,
Google Podcasts.
Does it have a review?
I don't know.
Do whatever. Talia Kirby, good night. Thank you.
Yes. Good night and farewell, I guess.
Well, till we pee and do the after show.
Dude, I've got to piss so fucking bad.
So fucking do the thing.
All right. We're going to keep doing the after show for those of you watching us on YouTube. But until next week, when we do the Bad Batch, Dave and everybody else, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Ugh. Oh, wait. One more thing. And... Okay, now what do I click? Nice. Oh, God. Oh, God. Get out of my way!
Are you okay?
Oh, my God. I'll fucking kill you.
Well, that was well timed.
I was actually, I'm like, I think they're gonna be wrapping up soon, but not super soon. And then I hear the clink, and I'm like, oh, I gotta wait just like 10 seconds. I want him to open my wine. I hate our traditional corkscrew. I hate it. I hate it so much. So I bought one that's supposed to be way better, and I can't work that either. But Jason just keeps like going on about how terrible this is. But I defend it. I say it's supposed to be great, but then I don't know how to use it, so I make him use it. So I don't know. So I'm all like asking him to to open my wine, but I give him my corkscrew.
Look at how fancy. Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do. So there's like a knife on the end of this.
Yes.
Right? So you're supposed to like basically cut around the top of it. Which Kathy fails to do almost every time, and it drives me insane because she just pulls the cork right through the damn foil most of the time. And because it's wax, that's probably... I don't know. How fancy is this? So you have wax on the top.
Yeah, I like that brand or brewery or whatever, but that's my normal wine, but I've never seen this one. It looks really out of place with the bright cartoony labels. This one's all dark and...
Woo!
Right there, champ.
Better. What the... Are you fucking serious?
What? What's the matter? What?
Okay, first of all, get out of my fucking chair.
Okay.
Jesus fucking
What's
Christ.
the problem?
This!
What is wrong with this?
Swear to fucking God.
I don't understand. Do you have a problem with...
I've showed her like 10 times how to open a fucking wine bottle. Jesus fucking Christ.
This one's... I don't like the wax on the top. It's like closed with wax, not with foil. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
We're not speaking to Dave now either.
This is a new...
We still live?
Yeah.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we are. This is the after show.
I keep forgetting about the after show.
All right. Oh yeah, we got people laughing in the chat. So
yeah, that wax is...
But it's a pretty good corkscrew, though, isn't it?
It's a nice corkscrew.
do you know what you're doing?
No, here you
For fuck's sake, Jesus Christ! Give me the goddamn thing. What the fuck? What did you do?
I did that.
Oh my God.
You'll probably get it right away because it's a pretty good corkscrew.
Yeah. Are you both fucking retarded? Jesus Christ. These fucking people never learned how to open a goddamn wine bottle in their lives. Of course, you don't have to learn when you have somebody who'll just do everything for you.
I don't pump my own gas.
Jesus fucking Christ. You might have to get that other bottle opener because I don't know if I can get this open with this fucking weird ass.
It's supposed to be better.
Not when the fucking top is ripped off.
Do that. That was Dave. He was trying to help.
Go get my other bottle opener.
Just give this one more shot.
Get the other fucking bottle opener if you want this thing fucking opened. I swear to fucking God. Oh, actually, I might have this.
It just needed to be deeper.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that wax top fucking threw it all off. It did. I've never fucking seen a wine bottle with a wax top. Like, ever. Keep pulling, Jason. There you go.
Swear to God.
I even cut around it. I showed her how to use the knife part, to cut around it, and it just
Well, how did this happen?
the fucking wax resisted.
Look at that. Look at that. That's what I'm dealing with, people.
And this is why we stick around for the after show. Yeah.
Oh, good shit. All right. Did we miss anything fun in the chat?
I don't know. I was too busy fucking up the wine bottle and then peeing because god damn it, I had to pee.
Click. Good night. Talia said good night. Crazy fan rants. Who is that?
I don't know.
Skatebot is doing the sequel trilogy this week.
Yes.
Yeah, we briefly touched on that.
Yeah.
Keith is done, man. I need to be a better friend and find out what the hell happened to Keith.
Dude,
I got it.
Yeah, it's open now.
Oh,
So
you didn't need this after all?
no.
Let's leave this in here.
Because that's where that
You'll
goes.
never find it again.
Yeah, here in the studio is where the fucking other wine bottle opener goes. You should bring it
I'm
in.
not gonna bring it in. Does anyone want any whatever this is?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Jersey
Do I
Devil's
have,
Lab.
hold on. Give me one of those G.I. Joe cups.
Which one?
Either one. Does it matter? They're
It's a
practically
white
the same.
wine, right? So you should probably do the lighter
It
one.
might be a red one.
I hate both of these people. I can't stand them both. I don't.
Jason is a professional cork soaker.
Wait, what?
Oh, it's like, I know it
Drip,
was.
drip, 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 drip. I'm a professional what?
Cork soaker.
Cork soaker.
From the SNL skit. Never seen an SNL skit with the cork soaking? It had Adam Sandler? Oh,
Really?
We got to bring that up.
Smells good.
Burger Fett. One big pet peeve of mine is people attempting to put Earth in Star Wars. Yeah, I don't call it a pet peeve. I just don't. I never knew of.
So he's claiming that they didn't talk about that in Battle for Endor, which again, I haven't seen Battle for Endor in 20 fucking years, but I am 90% sure that they referenced that Sindel and Mace and their family was from Earth in Battle for Endor, and that's where fucking Wilford Brimley took them with his diabetes, and they went back to Earth.
I don't have a nickel in this because I never saw it, so I don't.
All right. Well, now I got to look it up because
Were you though?
Yeah, obviously.
yeah. No, I'd feel like an asshole, like going off on that whole diatribe and being wrong, because quite frankly, I'm never wrong. Very rarely am I wrong.
When he apologizes.
The battle. I don't apologize. Even if I am wrong and I know I'm wrong, I don't apologize because fuck that. That shit
That's
is
what I was looking at. Cork soaker.
not in my nature. Earth. Control F-A-R-T-H.
Do you need help?
No. Battle
see, we're not gonna
for
be able to-
Endor Earth.
I'm just gonna send you this link.
Fuck. Was I wrong about that?
Maybe it was an Earth-looking planet. Maybe that's what threw you off. Try to give you the benefit of the doubt here.
Shit. I was so convinced that that was the thing.
Well, obviously, George wanted you to be convinced of that in your younger days, and you fell for it. Just like you fell for the Ewoks.
Okay, I'll give you that. Real American hero. G.I. Joe.
Quick, put money on it. No. I'm not going to do that. We are, in fact, if the with the Bad Batch, I think if we weren't going to have a full show for the content. Remember, we're going to do some Trivial Pursuit.
Oh yeah.
So that might be a thing.
Well, we had some good discussion topics from this last episode. Did you watch the last episode?
No.
of Bad Batch? Okay, well there's some good discussion
Is there
topics from that.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance. I just legitimately haven't had time.
Basically, the introduction of a character that we know.
Okay.
It was good, and I have no idea what happened with the one that came out. No, wait, this week.
Yeah, it'll be one this week.
Right.
See. Like I said, I'm planning on binging it and catching up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching episodes of the Bad Batch, which I'm surprised to even say. But
yeah,
I'm intrigued. So hopefully that won't be unfounded. We also didn't talk about. I don't think we talked. Did we talk about last week Filoni's promotion?
No, fuck, god damn it! I meant to add that to the notes. Yeah,
Filoni's promotion to executive director of creativity.
Yeah. Which, according to Disney, he's had that for like months or for a long time, and they've just now acknowledged it on
whatever.
On their website.
They know we're making all this. We're doing all this saber rattling about how much we want Filoni to have more control, and Disney's like
executive creative director at Lucasfilm is his official title. So yeah, but again, we know and quite frankly, most people want him to be the heir apparent to Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, obviously,
like, that fucking bitch needs to retire, and we need just
she'd be perfect to go work at a fucking dump that you're trying to drop off a fucking monitor to. Which, by the way, on a completely unrelated note, just hypothetical note, have you ever put a hammer through a monitor?
No.
It's actually pretty interesting what happens.
What happens?
So the monitor I had was like, it was when they made those flat screen CRTs, right? So I had one of those. It was like a sync, one of those Samsung. It was that flat CRT technology that they were coming out with right before it started all converting over.
Oh, right before the flat panel shit. So
so it was a CRT, but it had a flat front.
Okay.
Completely flat.
Yeah.
So
we're talking like early 2000s kind of thing.
Yeah, that's probably about right. So that's the monitor I've been trying to get rid of, right? Because I had that and the E-Machine's computer that it was hooked up to, which I still have.
We had so many E-Machines. Wait, you still have one?
Yeah.
Oh, we had a lot of E-Machines computers in our household.
Yeah. It's still, I kept it because it still has the original flight simulator on it.
Nice.
Run, that's the reason I bought that machine.
Windows 98 or like 2000. What are we talking about?
It would have been Windows. It would have been Windows 98.
Okay, nice.
I bet it still worked too. I mean, it's in a Tupperware container. It's all sealed up.
Nice.
The entire kit with the fucking speakers and everything else. But anyway, so this monitor has been fucking floating around forever. I've been trying to get rid of it. So after this latest incident, in theory, completely unrelated, if you put like a monitor like that into a contractor bag and then took a 3-pound sledgehammer and hit directly into the front part of it, it releases like this gas out of there because it's pressurized, right? It's a tube. And when you hit it, it goes, it like releases this fucking gas out of there, which thank God, allegedly, I had the fucking thing turned on its side, expecting something to happen, but not expecting that. Yeah. And then, so after that happened, then I would think that you could throw out a pile of plastic and glass into the trash.
Sure.
So.
Is this what started the whole monitor debacle?
No, this was the end of the monitor debacle, badonkadonk, the monitor badonkadonk.
Girl, you got a badonkadonk.
This is me not drinking, by the way. Yeah, so I threw away a pile of plastic and glass.
What is a chicken head?
I give up.
God God damn it, Dave.
What's that from? I don't know that one.
That same episode of Chappelle's Show that was talking about a badonkadonk.
Oh God, I can't. I didn't relate the two things.
Never
God
heard
damn it.
anyone say that word so angrily before.
Badonk.
Oh, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. What is a badonkadonk?
I
What
got you now.
is
I got
a
you now.
chicken head.
Yeah, Office Space. Yeah, so there was definitely an Office Space moment with this monitor, and yeah, when you can throw out, you're just gonna make things sticky. Yeah, I don't think there's any problems at all throwing out a pile of fucking plastic and glass, which is what that turned into after a 3-pound sledge, allegedly.
This was after the incident with
After the incident, when I
with
got
the
home.
Karen at the dump.
Yes. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. Fuck that fucking monitor. It was either that I was going to fucking go to a bridge and throw it in the river. Which,
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
because there's cameras. There's fucking cameras everywhere.
On the river?
Everywhere. Like, especially bridges because of security, right? But, I mean, I'm sure I could have found a place to fucking illegally dump this fucking monitor. But, yeah, you have to worry about, like, oh, I'm in this car to fucking take a picture of your goddamn license plate because fucking people, like, oh, look, I'm going to try and get this person in trouble.
Aren't you across the street from a fucking river?
I like kayak and shit in that. I'm not gonna do it right there. Well, even better than that, like, so across from me, like where the creek is, right in front of my house,
Mhm.
to the left is a dump that closed in like the 60s.
Okay.
Right? So that space next to that Walmart, like where the Walmart and Sam's Club and everything else, there's like this empty field behind that.
Hmm.
That's a dump. That was a dump in the 60s.
Okay.
Downstream, you know, coming past the house, continuing down, is the old dump in Belmar. Like that closed, I don't know, in the past decade or so.
Okay.
So I'm like, both ends of where I am in the creek were dumps. So it probably wouldn't be that bad, but it's finally getting to the point where wildlife is starting to propagate again. Like, so the water is not is
the what?
the water is
Wait, the what?
the water is clean enough to fucking I'm gonna stab you. The water is clean enough where like eagles and shit like that are coming back and you know, we see egrets and shit like that in the
Yeah.
fucking water.
What?
Coming back to where?
The water.
Jesus Christ. He's gonna kill us both.
You got wine on my face.
I'm pretty sure that was deliberate.
Yeah.
Yeah. The dump in Nampa, Idaho actually rocks.
Well,
I don't.
Okay.
It does it
That's
because
not enough to wanna move
because
there.
it takes trash. Because you would think that's what a dump should do, except for when some twat waffles manning the fort. I should have just hit
that's
her
good.
with the car door. I should have. I would have felt so much better about everything.
Yeah, but
And
then
then
you have
kick-
to deal with assault
And then
charges
kick
and
the
everything else.
monitor out on the way. It was like, oh, I don't know what happened. The door flew open, and I guess because the monitor wasn't strapped down. So
She was on this side of the railing when I pulled up, so I don't
Right.
know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, I have a feeling there was a dude sitting there too, so there would have been a witness. And it's
Yeah.
the dump. There's probably a fucking camera.
Mhm.
Fucking cameras everywhere, preventing.
It's the problem with living in the 2020s.
What
Everything's recorded.
Lunar Girl loves what word? We say it a lot. What word is that?
Twat waffle? I don't know. That was a good word. I need to write this down, actually.
That can't be the first time I've used twat waffle.
I don't think so.
Twat
Oh my
waffle.
God, really?
And I wrote it down in eligible.
Yeah, he actually wrote it,
Handwriting.
folks. Of all the things that we're supposed to write down over the years, that's what he chooses to write down,
It was funny.
which is fair.
Do you want more wine?
twat waffle.
No.
You mean ew? No.
9.
I think the beer got him.
The beer
Yeah,
got me.
yeah.
You had beer.
I know. I was there. I drank it.
Allegedly you were there.
Yeah.
We don't know that for certain.
I'll drink water from here on out.
There you go.
Or water, as Dave would say.
Water, yes. Water.
He has to struggle to say it.
What?
That's what's so funny. Water.
Wow. There's no H.
I am a human being who has real emotions, and I say water.
Water. I may not be a human being, and I may not have human emotions, and I also say water. It sounds like when I'm saying it.
Yeah, it's like Tom said, water, not water.
How do you say this word?
Draw.
Okay. All right. Be forgiven for water then.
Why? What?
They put an L at the end. It's
Draw.
Drawl?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's awful.
Yeah, that's a localism.
Mhm.
I think Kathy says it like that.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, she grew up in South Jersey.
I guess it's not her fault.
No. Yeah, draw.
You're a product of your environment.
Yeah, draw is it's definitely or drawer or something. Yeah, but that's. Did you hear that? Is that your stomach? What was that noise? You didn't hear that?
I didn't hear anything.
Oh my fucking god!
Dave's losing it.
Am I having a stroke? What is happening? I used to say what a. Yeah, it's
like Boise with a Z. Boise.
Boise.
That's how you pronounce it.
Right.
Boise.
Boise.
Yeah. Like what's wrong with that?
Boise.
Yeah.
That's not how it's done?
No. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would assume.
I mean,
Boise.
Boise.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how you're supposed to say it. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
What a.
Ask your sister. She's in Boise, right?
No, I thought she's in Nampa. That's
She's
why.
in Nampa.
Nampa. See, there's some New Englander hanging out there. That extended A.
Yeah.
In words. Sorry, Jason is a professional. All right. I'm ready.
All right. We're calling it.
Interesting. I see no Z. Oh, that is interesting. I think it's because you're on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Some
On the
California-
West Coast, S it translates to a Z.
Right.
That's how
Yeah.
that works.
Right.
Yeah.
And Ewoks are, you know what? Never mind.
Lerdo.
Feech.
All right. Well, thank you to everybody who's hung out up to this point
Yes.
and listened to our nonsensical ravings. But yeah, we'll be back next Tuesday.
Don't say that.
Tuesday for
Tuesday.
Tutti
Frutti?
2 more episodes of the Bad Batch.
Right.
As we close out, it's gonna be May.
This is the May.
This is the May.
Right. Peace out, y'all.
All right, we're out.